All right, everybody, everyone, welcome to another episode of Fourever Rivals. Another week has come upon us real quick, man. They're just flying through. How's everyone going, Liam?
Boom, mate. How we feeling? We're feeling good. Still no wins on the board, but we're keeping positive, boys. That's what it's all about. Positive attitude. That's the way.
That's all you got. Positive. That's all you can be. Positive. You got nothing else to fucking look forward to. But Manny, how you going?
Oh, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Rocco, Liam, Marco. Yeah. Look, it was a lovely Saturday afternoon at the MCG, Rocco, and at the end of the day, the result was just spumanti. It was perfection, and I'm happy as Larry. So, good to be on this afternoon. I thought I wasn't going to make it. Actually, I had a couple of other commitments, and but I finally got your people to talk to my people, and I'm here tonight. Marco, how you going there, bud?
Yeah, good, Manny. Good boys. How are we all going tonight? And chat, obviously, but yeah, it was a pretty somber Saturday afternoon for me, but I did have a really enjoyable Anzac Day lunch. So had a bit of a barbecue, and that was quite nice.
That's good.
Nice. You guys, all bloody pleasantries. First of all, Manny, your people don't talk to my people. I don't talk to your people, bro. Trust me. I do not talk to your people. We just have to thank now our sponsor. Let's get straight into that sponsor. Taunton Security Doors and Blinds, eh? How good are these blokes, man? I'm telling you, mate, they're securing the whole place, mate. There's bloody blinds and security doors everywhere, man. You can't get in nowhere, man. These blokes are just taking control of everything. And you know why? Because
if you want your family to be safe, Taunton Security Doors and Blinds is the place. Fourever Rivals, a bomber supporter and a really top mate. All of your security.
Hey, we've got it. Make sure you get on to them. Tell us all about it there, Marco.
Yeah, Mr. Rocco, mate. You give us a call on 8339-4848 for a free measure and quote. We're still putting that promotion 10% off. You can call it for mention the Fourever Rivals and the Jumper Punch, located in the northern suburbs, I guess. And we, on Facebook. So like us and follow us on Facebook as well. Most importantly, protect your home and your family. So give us a call on 8339-4848 for a free measure and quote. Give us a call.
I did also hear through the grapevine that one of our great followers here has contacted you, and you're going to go and visit them tomorrow.
Yes. I've got one of the viewers first thing tomorrow morning, bright and early, so should be interesting. So certainly receiving that 10% off, that's for sure. And maybe a little bit more, just depending on how I'm feeling tomorrow morning.
He's a good man. He'll also look after you when you go and visit him just quietly. So I reckon you can help each other just quietly.
So, bartering, mate. Remember those days?
That's good stuff, man. Make sure you get onto him if you need anyone, or if you refer him to someone. If someone needs some security doors and blinds, he does a good job. You've been in the business as long as Essendon haven't won a final, and that's forever, man.
It has been a long time now, mate. A very long time.
20 years, so he definitely knows what he's talking about. So some of the viewers here, we got always Sammy Taylor. What's he saying? I'm bringing in Jack Ison, yeah. Hopefully, I don't think they'll bring him in this week, but he's been doing well in the reserves. We got Peter always here. Oh, is he going to eat the chili tonight? They're all wondering, are they going to eat the chili tonight?
Hey.
Yeah, I've got one here, boys. I've got one here.
Rocco Moro, the Prince of Perth. The Prince of Perth is there, man. And we got Enzo Valentino. I love these Wednesday night moments. Enzo Valentino, he's
Oh.
one of them out there.
Vast.
We got them all here.
Hey, Rocco, I was just going to say that, sorry, before you say about Mark Macucci, I was just going to say that it's good to see that Rob Galicchio, one of our originals, is back after he had a serious fall and had hurt himself, and now he's on top of the world. He's doing really, really well. So good on you, Rob.
We actually saw Rob at the catch-up. So he was there with a few of his friends. So we saw him at the catch-up. He's looking fit and healthy there. Mark Marcucci, his name's Mick Marcucci, but from now on, because Manny's decided to call him Mark Marcucci, that's what his name will be, Mark Marcucci. Chili or a Linden body punch? We should give Mark the choice. Well, if Fourever Rivals last night, you saw Linden give the body punch to it was a nice, but I reckon, mate, he knocked him off his feet about 2 feet. He punched him in the air.
He nearly sent him back on his chair.
He put him back on his chair. I'm telling you. And then after the show, we had a look and he had a nice red mark on there. So, great, man. And we did say, Lyndon did say after the show, he's got to stop punching the host, you know. So, but we love it from the great Olympian. Who else has an Olympian on their show? Hey, who else has an Olympian on their show, man? A great man. And we'll be going down to his pub in Ballarat by weekend. We're going to go down to his pub and we're going to do a show from up there. So we're going to catch up with that. Of course, we got Oz.
Where's the pub, Manny? Rocco, where's the pub?
It's in Ballarat, or is it Bendigo? I think it's Bendigo.
Okay.
Which one's closer? I think it's, I don't know.
Ballarat's closer.
I think it's Ballarat. No, I think it is Bendigo. I think it's Bendigo. It's a nice big city. Yeah, I think it's Bendigo. So down there, we're going to go down there for the night, maybe even the weekend. Stay there the weekend and catch up. It's a bye weekend, so there's no footy for us that weekend. What's happening here? All right, cool. Yeah, so we're going to catch up. Great, man. Who else we got? Lana. Lana's fantastic. Good evening. Oh, she's always in the chat. Oh, here he is. Robbie Galicchio. Good that you're doing well. And we've got Jacana and who else? We got Jay. He's always in here. Evening all. Look at these people, man. I love how they keep coming back. There's a great little community here. Oh, all the way from Greece. Where else do you get an Australian show in Reservoir and people all the way in Greece are watching it? Manny fucking tear strips off Mark tonight. He deserves it. Taking shit about our ties every week. Take it easy, Manny Costco. You're all the way over in Greece there, getting smart, relaxed, man. You beat nobody. That's who you did. You beat nobody. We'll see if you have the same comment this week. No, we love Manny Costco. Stuart McQuay, he's a great man. Bomber Pete, he's been a regular. I like Bomber Pete. Let's get Draper this week, Mark, and stick it up to him, yeah?
Yeah, we need to beat more than Draper, I think, Bomber Pete, mate. I think there's more than just Draper this weekend, mate.
Yeah, we'll be, we got here Mushu. How's that, Manny? Mushu, you reckon?
Mushy.
Anyway, boys, want your take on the draft rules? We'll talk about the draft rules because there is some. So thanks everyone for joining us. I'll be looking at your comments. Oh yeah, we got Miss Cleo. We got Shelby in. Shelby's been the replacement. Who else we got? Manny is the only winner on the panel. He's been the only winner for a while, just quietly.
Again.
Love this show, boys, and we love you. All right, one more thing before we go. In 2 weeks' time, we had the big catch-up on the weekend. We got the next catch-up. Fuck, they're coming thin and fast in 2 weeks' time. We got the Brisbane one at the Sporting Globe, so make sure you get down there, get your tickets. They're free online. We had about 40 people there this week, man. It was packed in there. It was really, really good. We had good feed, drinks. I bought a bloody cocktail tower. We were having drinks. So make sure you get down there. If you're here in Melbourne, make sure you get down to the Sporting Globe.
And that's at Northlands, isn't it, Rocco? Northlands.
Northlands. Where is it? Where is it, Liam?
Northland. Northland.
Why would I listen to you? I got fucking jocks that are older than you. Please, mate. It's Northland. Take it
Because
easy.
clearly I'm the only one who can read, but there's no S.
Oh, you're the only one that can read, mate. Shut up. I was reading before you were just a twinkle in your old man's eye, mate. That's when I started reading.
Hey. Right, yeah. Not much I can say for that one.
You can't. I was going to say something else. I would leave it. Thank you to Oz. He's always a super sticker. 449. Thanks, Oz. He's a great. He's probably our greatest supporter. We love Oz, man, and we love your comments, mate. Keep putting them out. Let us know where you're sitting this week. You always let us know. You'll be down at the big St Kilda Carlton game. All right, guys. Let's get into this because I think I've got some things I want to talk about. Fourever footy, man. We've got to say, and before we get into Fourever footy, mate, everyone's going to want to stay to the end because we have got a new segment, the Fourever Super Quiz. We're going to see who is the smartest rival once and for all. We've got it all set up. Everyone will be able to join us in the Super Quiz too. So we'll be interactive. So we can have a bit of fun with that a bit later. But we're going to see who's the smartest and we know who the dumbest is. But anyway, we'll see by the end of the night who that is. In actual fact, we might do it for 3 or 4 weeks. And and we might then have like a super playoff with the winners. How's that sound? All right.
Game on.
Let's go. Let's get some chat going, man. I want to get straight into this. And what everyone's been talking about is this. We're talking about the umpires. We're talking about the ARC. The ARC. If you take this is Greg Swan. I'm telling you, anyone that goes and works for fucking the AFL, you start losing respect for them real quick. If you take away the ARC issues, most of the feedback we've had from the clubs is that the umpiring has been as good as it's been for a long time. That's what Greg Swan says. It's been as good as it's been. I don't know what game he's talking about. I don't know what game. This year is the worst I've ever seen the umpiring. It is not only so bad now, right? Everyone is confused, right? Everyone from players to umpires to spectators, right? They are getting worse. And what I saw on the weekend, and I'll just say this and then we can get stuck into it, was one of the worst umpiring decisions I've seen in my entire life. Do you believe it? In my entire life, I have seen the worst decision ever. It was a disgrace, and the AFL should hang their head in shame, right? Because they have turned this great game into a laughing spectacle now, right? That game between St Kilda and West Coast, where they brought the ball back after 66 seconds of play, right? And they brought it back after they had a look at the ARC, and they still couldn't be decisive on that, right? But they gave it and they got a goal. Now, it wasn't about the goal. It was about bringing the ball back after 1 minute and 6 seconds. Are you fucking kidding me? So in that 1 minute and 6 seconds, I don't know, but there was a number of kicks, a number of handballs, marks, and everything. What they ended up doing was take all them away. So they don't count anymore, even though they happened during the game. I'm going to ask you some question, and I'm going to ask this question because I asked the last time. I'm going to ask all of you guys this question. What happens if there was mark of the year in that little passage of play? Do you take that away? What happens if someone got injured? What happens if there was a report? Do we take away the report then? So could you have smashed someone in that 1 minute, just punched him straight in the face, right? Just punched him, just gone and just punched him straight in the face 10 times. Would you have still been reported because they took it all away? Did they think about this? To bring back the ball was a disgrace. They should have just let it go, right? This has just shown how far they've gone now with the ARC, and now I'm worried how far this game's going to go.
Did they take away the possessions on the players within that minute?
100%. That minute, and not only that, they took away. So that whole minute, 66 seconds disappeared, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. It will never see it again, right? Even though players got marks, kicks, whatever, right? Not only that, they didn't put back the minute.
Yeah.
They didn't put it back.
Fuck.
What is going on? Like, seriously, this is now becoming a circus. It's not a professional sport anymore. It's not a professional sport anymore. That is an absolute joke. What do you reckon, Mark?
Oh, well, it can't get any worse than that, really, Rocco. I mean, could it get any worse than that, to be quite honest? But I mean, even just with the goal review, you know, where I think it was a player clearly touched the ball before it crossed the line, and they had to review it. And I think I can't remember which game it was, but the player was just standing there looking at the goal umpire saying, "Mate, look, I touched it. Just give me the ball. Let's play on."
I think that was
Carlton, Newman, was it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it could have been a Newman one, I think.
yeah. The North one's the one they missed, but I think the Newman one was where he was standing there like,
the North one
"Brother,
where
how can you not see that?"
Yeah, no, this was the Newman one where he's looking at the umpire, the goal umpire, saying, "Oh, just give me the ball." Like it was clearly it was touched before the line. So I don't know if we should maybe just go back to using the umpire's discretion and just get rid of the goal review, go back to the goal umpire's discretion, or even possibly maybe just have two goal umpires, and they can quite clearly with two of them make that decision. Whether it's a mistake or not, I think the review is taking too much time. That Carlton player could have ran off quite quickly straight after that point was rewarded. You know, they normally take off straight away, don't they? But now he has to sit there, wait, and get that result. So, I mean, the umpire was clearly there watching it. You could see him watch, the player tap it. I mean, he's a professional goal umpire, clearly. So they've got to do something there with the goal review. The score review.
The umpires are scared to make a decision because it'll get reviewed. So they're not trusting their judgment anymore. That's what I think is happening.
Yes.
What are they afraid of, Rocco? They're afraid. The umpires are afraid of what? Because they're getting paid a lot of fucking money. $1 million industry.
No. They're not, I don't think they're afraid of that. No, I don't think they're afraid of that. They're afraid of the ridicule that will happen with every little decision.
Well, it's happening now anyway.
Mistakes happen. Mistakes happen. Just let it be.
Look, give them credit. They call themselves the ARC, Arsehole Review Centre. So at least they admitted that they're a bunch of assholes. They've got nothing fucking better to do. You know what I mean? And at least they can admit and say, you know what? Yeah, we're a bunch of assholes. We keep fucking it up. The biggest problem I don't understand is that this is elite, the elite sport of this country. Yeah, it's the bees' knees, the ducks' nuts. They keep fucking it up. Yeah, you look at the NFL in America. Yeah, you look at tennis. Yeah, and that ball goes pretty quick. You look at so many sports, all right, elite sports, and they get it right, and yet here we can't get it right. Yeah. It's like we're displaying a Ferrari, but it's got an old Datsun motor, and it's got who knows what, probably a horse and carriage as seats underneath. That's what it is at the moment. It is. What if that game was a close game? I know at the end ended up being whitewash and Sekula did what they did, but it's all about the momentum, isn't it? And all this thing about taking and these umpires. Come on, I mean seriously, they're afraid of what? To see, oh, you know what, the ball's over. Who gives a fuck? They make a mistake. They make a mistake. Yeah,
that's right.
You rather make the mistake and you move forward with it, rather than sit there and all of a sudden you're sitting there. It's becoming a joke. It is becoming an absolute joke. I'm telling you. And it won't be too long. You're going to get countries overseas who are going to be saying, have a look at this. It took them forever just to get a fucking review. I'm telling you, it's heretical. It is an absolute fucking.
They're trying to make the game quicker, and they've actually slowed it down.
Yeah.
They've actually slowed it down. They're trying to get more goals, and people actually, you know, over the years, teams are kicking less goals. You know what I mean? They think they're smarter than what they are. You know what I mean? And this review now, this technology, my thing is with technology, you can use it if you want, but make sure you use the best technology there is. If you haven't got it, then don't use it. Like, don't use an inferior technology just for the sake of having technology. You know, their technology isn't good enough. It's flawed. The whole thing is flawed, man. This ARC is flawed, right? This ARC wasn't brought in for this. And this is the problem with their rules. They bring it in for one reason, and then they start using it for everything else. Like, the ARC was not brought in for this, right? You do not review. You do not bring the game back. Once a decision was made, you should have just let it go. It's done, right? Wrong, it's wrong. I actually agree with Alistair Clarkson on this one. Get rid of all of it. They can make a decision. So what? You know, so what if you get something wrong? It is what it is. You know what I mean? But it won't happen because now with all the replays and everyone's going to go at it, you know what I mean? And like we said before, the umpires are scared to make a decision, not because they paid a lot of money, because they're scared of the ridicule that everyone's going to give them for making that decision. You know what I mean? So now they're scared to make the decision. Like, just take it.
Can I ask? AI, that's progressed so much, right? It is slowly going to take over the world, yeah? Before you know it, and it's going to be the way of life, yeah? I can't understand how they can't somehow, you know what? Get involved with these other countries that have got the elite sport, and don't be afraid to ask the question. The AFL should go there and ask questions of, you know, what technology do we need to use to be able to make this the perfect? You'll never make it perfect, but at least make it close to perfect. Where, hey,
but what do we have to make?
You get a quick decision, and then you move on from that. Yeah.
But why do we have to? Why do we have to? Like, I think someone else said this. And it was the Doggies coach. I liked his presser today about all this. What he said was, it's a chaotic game. What is it?
Chaotic.
A chaotic game,
Yeah.
right? That we are trying to make perfect.
Yeah.
It's a chaotic game, mate. What are we doing? Like, let it be what it is. You know what I mean? Like, for example, when the ball goes out and they don't know, throw it back in. That's it. Don't look at it no more. Don't look at it no more. It's done. The ARC wasn't brought. The ARC shouldn't be brought in for that, right? The ARC was brought in for just obvious decisions for the goals, and that's it. Leave it. And if you can't make it within 5 seconds, you scrap the whole thing.
Yeah,
You scrap the whole thing. It's a fucking disgrace. Liam, we haven't heard from you.
Yeah, look, there's a lot to talk about with this one. Firstly, with that issue that you're talking about from the St Kilda West Coast game, that's an absolute failure. That's just a stuff up. Nothing to do with the technology. They just stuffed up. How can you let play continue for 66 seconds and then be like, oh, actually, hang on. Oh, well, we want to make a decision now. We're going to go back and do it. Ah, tough shit. It's happened. It's gone. You've missed it. So what? Look at the other game from Sunday, the North Melbourne one with Griff and Logue. That was a close game. That really could have changed it. Did they go back, do the same thing there? No, they don't, because you don't do it. And like you said, we understand mistakes happen. It's part of the job. I understand we all make mistakes. We deal with it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to have a whinge about the Richmond umpiring, but, you know, in a couple of weeks, I'll forget. Doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
I think Rocco, you are right. And we spoke a little earlier, is, you know, what happens if they go down the other end and they score a goal? Do you take that goal away? Does it not count anymore? How's that fair? How's that justice from making the right decision? And also, I do agree with you in the fact of what was it? Oh, now I've lost my train of thought. So sorry. See, now I've made a mistake.
See, we all make mistakes.
Oh no, I've cooked it.
How
you were going on about the umpires? Like the reliance on using the technology instead of actually standing up and making their own decision. That's their job. That's what you're meant to do. You should make us that decision. If they get it and they're right in front of that and they're not sure, yeah, all right, use the ARC. I get it. That's what it's for. But you need to own up and make a decision. It's not hard. Oh, was the ball over the line? Was it not? What's your call? If there's two people that disagree, all right, we'll take it up to the third person. We'll see what they say, and they can have the final call. That's fine. But yeah, man up. Like, it's your job. Just make a call. If you get it wrong, it's all right. But end of the day, it's not going to matter. It'll be forgotten all of a sudden. I don't know. I just think the over-reliance of it and the over-officiating of the game is just killing it. And when they come out and say that the umpiring's been better than ever, bullshit. Has it? Why are we sitting here whinging about it every week if it's been better than ever? Is it really better than ever? And it's back to that old one that we say all the time. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We just make so many changes now. No one knows what's going on. And shit like this is happening. Weekly. Too many problems.
Are really bad ones now. Like, we're not just talking about, oh, you know, he missed a high tackle, you know, like we used to. We're talking about major things. A minute, 66 seconds of they just took away the time, and then one mistake after the other. They don't put the time back on. They bring it, like, who does that? And then we got Gus here. Is it Gus? Yeah, he's a St Kilda supporter. It's like in VAR in Premier League, the higher ups can control the game now. Now, that's a bit of a conspiracy theory. Now they're starting to control the game from up there. You know what I mean? Like, because they're in their ear. They're in their ear about stuff. You know, we're losing the essence of the game. The other one I want to quickly go into was, I think Enzo said it before, but the stand rule. Like, that is the biggest joke I've ever seen in my life now. They're just ruining it now. You have to stand. Like, if you're anywhere near the fucking mark, you got to stand. The one that they did with, who was it with?
Yes, this was my game.
Max Gawn.
This was the one with Ben Miller and Max Gawn. When they're running past, the player's taking the mark. Max Gawn is running past. Ben Miller's on the other side of Max Gawn, away from the player who's taking the mark. He's following his man, and he's been told he needed to stand. He's gone through, followed his player. Oh, not 50 meters, he didn't stand. I don't know if you guys have watched it or if the chat's watched it, but if you have,
and that was a disgrace because he wasn't impacting.
So stupid.
He wasn't impacting. And the other one was, there wasn't, I think it was Jamara. Who was it? The one where they told them to stand. There were two players standing. He goes, stand. I think it was Jamara. What's his name?
I didn't see that one, but
anyway, there were two players standing. Someone who?
Yeah, Jamara.
I think it was Jamara who, and the two players were standing, right? And there was one there, and the umpire goes, stand. So they both stood, and then he looked around, and he's not the one on the mark. He's further away. He runs off, and he goes, 50 meter because you ran off. And you go, wait a sec, you never said for him to stand. You never said for him to stand, right? You just said stand. So what happens? Does every player in that vicinity just go, like, what? I don't get it. Like, it's the dumbest fucking rule, right? Why should there be a stand rule? Just what was wrong with it before? You stand there, right? If you move off the mark, you get penalised. Like, that's it. There shouldn't be a teacher telling you to stand. You must stand, don't move. You know what I mean? In other words, and then the player can just easily run around them because they want the game to actually be quicker. And there was another one here before I get on to you, and someone said this. James Hurd brought this up. Did you see the vision Hurdy brought up of the two VFL players, right? There were two VFL players, right?
Yeah.
It was the Essendon game, I think. They bumped into each other. Two Essendon players bumped into each other, right? The umpire stopped it and gave a fucking free kick to the Port. I think it's the Port Melbourne player, because he thought it was a Port that bumped into the thing, right? There were two Essendon players that bumped into each other. I mean, they can't, because they've just confused the fuck out of the umpires now.
Yeah,
that's a problem, and that's going to be a huge problem.
And it's gonna continue being a problem. Even I'm a little bit confused about the prior opportunity of holding the ball. That's really starting to puzzle me even more, mate. You know, the players having prior opportunities, holding the ball or not holding the ball. You know, there's another rule there that confuses the shit out of me.
They're making it confusing, Mark. No one knows anymore. No one knows. The people in the stadium don't know. I don't know. Half the time, I just look for which way the umpire's pointing. That's all I look for. I don't look at the the incident anymore. I look just for, because it could go either way. There's always going to be black and white. It's going to be black and white. There's those grey areas, so it can't be black and white. Yeah, sorry, it's always going to be those grey areas. That's what makes our game so unique. I was saying this to the boys last night too. What other sport in the world do they change 5 or 6 rules every year? Every year, no other sport does it. I think soccer's had 2 rule changes in 100 years.
Yeah,
right. Every other, cricket, all they do is they bring technology into, but they've had no real rule changes. There's been a few things here and there, but nothing that really changes the game. Our game is actually nowhere near the way it was 50 years ago.
and like you were saying, Rocco, it's more chaotic now. So, you know what I mean? It's more chaotic, and they're making it harder again with all these reviews. Yep. But Liam was pretty much spot on. I think as spectators and viewers, when we're at the game or watching it on TV and the umpire makes the wrong decision, I think we tend to get over it pretty quickly. And that's the beauty about it. But now obviously there's, the media and there's, the reviews and cameras everywhere. That creates that, opens up that can of worms. So if they got rid of the whole concept of this ARC, I think as spectators and viewers, I think we'd just probably just get over it. We'll bitch a little bit for 5-10 minutes maybe and just move on. So get rid of a lot of these reviews, score reviews, until they get it 100% right, I think. But still, the holding the ball still confuses me more than anything else, I think, holding the ball.
It all confuses me, man. I don't think the umpires know what's going on, man. I don't think the umpires know what's going on. They're the ones getting confused, And these, especially this year, the rules they brought in this year, it's an absolute disgrace. I'll use that word over and over. It's a disgrace by the people who run our great game. It's a disgrace. This between the 50-meter, this deliberate is a fucking disgrace. Right. And now, because they stuffed it up 3 or 4 weeks later, they changed it. That you got to make an attempt. You can't go touching the ball. Now they're bringing in the ARC. And you know what, Mark? Now it goes back to your game too, a couple of weeks ago when they put the player back on. You know what I mean? Now, it's not just once. Now it's another. Now it's that. Now it's this. You know what I mean? Now they're starting to make decisions like 3 or 4 minutes down the track.
Yeah, they're controlling the games too much. They're just controlling everything. I mean,
yeah.
What needs to change? What is it that we need to do? I mean, we keep on bitching about these decisions that are going on every week. It's getting worse. What is it? Do we just go back to the old school and just let the game go the way it was? If it's deliberate, it's deliberate. If it's, I mean, do we scale it back a bit? I mean, what's the answer to it, boys?
It's a good question, because we can sit here and like talk about it all night, but that is a question and there are smarter people than us that have to work that out. The problem is none of those smart people work at the AFL. That's the problem. All the smart people are outside of the AFL. These are people that have been put into positions that have to make a decision about stuff that we don't need to. I just think that we've got to stop making these rules about so what these rules are. If you think about it, why do they want these rules? Like we've got to look deep into it and go, why do they want these rule changes? The reason are they want the game to be quicker. They want it to be more exciting. That's what they want. So they think by bringing in these rules, they're going to make it quicker. They're going to make it more exciting. You know what I mean? That's what they're thinking, but it's not working. It's just bringing more chaos and more confusion into the decision making, and that's all it's doing. So to me, deep down, that's what they want, but they're not achieving that. The best way they can achieve it is don't touch it.
That's right.
The game will sort out itself. The game sorts out itself.
Yeah, they're touching the game. Yeah, they're touching the game too much, Rocco, and that's the key.
100%.
Make some good decisions, some rules, and they've made some beautiful ones. The blood rule, the concussion rule. Even if they've got to make changes to the bench, the sub rule. That's not really touching the actual game play. You know what I mean? But when they start touching the game itself, that's where issues are occurring. But apart from that, make some changes to benefit the sport, which is
But even those rules that you're talking about, Marco, you mentioned the concussion rule. Now I don't know if you remember, but last week you were crying. The only thing you didn't have was a couple of tissues to wipe your eyes. You were crying about the wrong decision made, and you had the player that the doctors made a wrong decision. They took him off the ground. Even that they can't get it right. Even the concussion rules they can't get right. Yeah. And I really don't think it's the issue here is they don't give a shit about the concussion rule because they want to make the game quicker. So when you have the game quicker, what's going to happen? You're going to have more injuries. Yeah. They don't care, mate. They don't care about the concussion rules. The only thing they're doing right now is they're trying to focus on that, as we said last week, because of other reasons behind it. Yeah. Because insurance and, liabilities, etc. But at the moment, it's like Rocco said, they're not getting it right because they've got the wrong people that are in the game. They've got no idea, and they're basically making these decisions. Yeah, the best way to achieve it is we've got experience. Yeah, like for example, if you threw in there, say 5, 6 experienced ex-footy players that went in there, and they could give you an honest review of what then you get feedback from people like that. But they're putting people who've got no idea. That's the problem.
That's the thing, really. So to be fair to him, right? So we're always, everyone, all the spectators, all the people that are watching the game, we've always got something to say about the way the rule is. So don't they listen to the people that probably know more about football? You know what I mean? That's, why are we still keeping these people making these rules? Why? I don't get it. Like every week it's the same shit that we talk about. So
don't care
don't they get it? Don't they listen to fucking normal people out there? Normal people that watch the game.
No, they don't care about you.
So it's
they never have. They never have. The clubs don't care about you. The AFL doesn't care about you. The only thing they want you to do is pay your money. Let's be honest, because it's about that. They don't care what you think. Do they ever maybe do some sort of like questionnaire or find out what the public ever think? Do they ever ask that? No. They just make decisions on their own. You know what I mean? They make it about, and it's always about the rules. If you think about it, it's always about the rules. It's always them fucking it up with the rules. We're always talking about the rules. Like, we got a great game. Why do they keep fucking it around? What was wrong when the ball went out, you threw it back in? What was wrong with that? Like, I don't get it. I don't get what was wrong with that. You know what I mean? Everything's got to be quicker now. You can play on straight away after a point, unless they've got a fucking decision to make. Then it takes four fucking minutes. But what was wrong? All right, so you want to fasten up a little bit there. All right, so then they cut the time in your kicks. Now went from 8 to 6 seconds. You know what I mean? Everything now they throw up the ball because they've got to be quicker in that. Everything's to make why. What are we trying? Like, I want to know what the final result is. I want to know what the final result that the game is so quick that we have to watch it in slow motion to see it. Is that what they want? They want the game to be so fucking quick that we can't see it anymore. We can't enjoy. I'll use a fucking Michael Voss word. We can't enjoy the moments anymore.
The moments. Yeah.
The moment. Everything's about a moment. Enjoy the moment. It's about the moment.
The replay.
Is that what it's about now? We can't enjoy the moments anymore.
So can I just ask, with that 1 minute delay, 66 seconds, and that went back after that, this and that. Now, was this at a crucial point of the game that did it mean that that wrong decision could have cost them?
No, because St Kilda won by 100 points, man. It's got nothing. It's got nothing to do with the decision. But what if it did happen in a grand final?
But what I'm saying is that the fact that they've gone and they've done all that, right? I mean, it's what were they trying to achieve from it? Apart from the fact that, as you said,
I think what they're trying to achieve is not ever getting anything wrong. So they will worry that, and they got it more wrong than ever. I think they were like, I don't know, but I'm thinking they were worried. Oh, that's a wrong decision. Let's bring it back and fix it. Instead, they completely fucked it up. I think that's their what. The problem is with that actual decision, right? If you look at it, it was millimeters before the post, right? But the problem is that if you get a different camera angle, because with cameras, you hold it a different angle, right? You get a different result. So if from a different camera angle, the ball looks out. From that camera angle, it looks in. So which camera do we now go by? Like there's no definitive answer anymore. So why are we worried about it? There's no definitive answer anymore. Like it was just, and someone else made a comment, and it was, I think Enzo Valentino, he's on fire tonight. He said something about, I can't find it. Oh, here, right? The goal umpires look like dickheads now. They have one job to do. One fucking job to do, and they took it away from them. So why have we even got them anymore? Why have we even got them anymore? Just review every fucking goal umpire. Then why do we need them? It's the most unique part of the game. People from overseas see it and they go, oh, fuck, look, you got these blokes who are they're fucking just pointing all day, like, oh, look at that, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool, man. You got these blokes, and we're taking it away from them. And one decision.
And Rocco, what you were saying about the moment, it takes away the moment as well. So if it was a goal and then they reviewed it and then they go, all clear, goal. Oh, fuck,
well,
man,
it was a mark point.
Yeah, but I'm telling by the moment. So say, for instance, it was a goal. Like say, for instance, another indication where it's a goal. Yeah. But they go, oh, let's review it. It was clearly a goal. It takes away that moment of cheering and, like the high five and so forth. It's just taking those moments away again with too many reviews.
100%. And before we go on, before I forget, first of all, Oz is absolutely supporting the channel tonight, just pumping him money. He told me, I asked him, I will be seeing level 1, section 2728. All right. I don't think I'm near you, but hopefully I get to see you. And then he also sent, thank you for the $2.99. He also sent another super sticker for $1.49. Thank you very much, man. You are a star. Yeah, keep going. Liam?
Yeah, look, I think I'd go back to a comment earlier made by FozJam is like what I was saying, how they're overcomplicating things. He said that they should go back from 4 umpires to 3 umpires. And it's the same with this. And same as what you've just pulled up from Enzo's comment with the goal umpires. That's their job. That's what they're paid to do. Let's take it away. And even back further with what Manny said about the technology. If we can't get it right, and again, Rocco's called that, like the camera angles, you can change it to twist any story that you want. If we don't have the technology to get it right, then let's sort it out. I don't know.
If we can't get the right technology, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't use it. Don't use it. Don't use it. Get it right. But the problem is now with all the replays and that, they're going to get, everyone's going to attack them because, oh, look, they got a decision wrong. But you know what? I reckon we'll accept it. We would accept it. You know what I mean? Because I used to live by the rules of, rightio, we copped it. Don't worry. We'll get it back at another time. You know what I mean? Like if whatever goes around comes around, just leave it. You know what I mean? But it's not like that anymore. And they're just making it worse and worse. Look, at the end of the day, for me, this all comes back to just the AFL being incompetent. That's all it is. And they're not being held accountable. Who holds the AFL accountable? No one.
Hey, Rocco, I just had someone send me a text asking me, are these errors mainly made at the MCG? Or like if we're talking about the different stadiums and venues wherever it's staying, depending on the games. I mean, I know a lot of games are played at the MCG.
I think this one was at Marble, if I'm correct. West Coast, I think, was at Marble. Okay. So look, all the I think they got the cameras at all the grounds. So I don't think it's just at the MCG. I mean, FozJam makes a good point. I mean, TJP has better camera vision than the $1 billion AFL. And I know that's a joke, but it's fucking true. Like, we can get better vision than what they can. Like, I reckon the people in the stadium with their iPhones have got better vision of that particular incident than what they have. You know what I mean? And everyone's been talking about lasers. Oh, we'll get lasers and we'll get... No, nothing. Get nothing. Get the umpire there, right? He makes the decision. That's it. And leave it. Whatever the decision is, right?
Yeah.
Unless it's a blatant, where you just know that he was 100% wrong, right? You quickly bring it back, but not once the game continues. That's it. It's done. It's like the boxer. You know, you win your fights in the ring. You don't win it outside the ring. You know, that was already done, man. Like, it's actually embarrassing. I didn't see it live, but when I saw it later on, I had to watch it like 3 or 4 times to look at it and go, are these blokes serious, what they just did? As I said, what if there was a major incident? You know, what if there was mark of the year? Does that get taken? What if it was the best mark ever? The bloke stands 10 foot tall. He jumps up. He does a spin in the air, right? He marks the ball, lands on his feet, runs fucking 50 meters, kicks the goal on the outside of his left foot, and then they go, oh, no, we've got to take that away. That's what would have happened. You couldn't use that anymore, could you?
No.
Well,
Yeah,
it's just a joke, you know, it's just a joke that they brought that back. And now with the stand rule and the ruck rule, none of it makes sense to me. None of it makes sense to me anymore. Like, I hate the stand rule. Like, it's the dumbest rule I've ever seen, really. The dumbest rule. You've got to stand there when he says stand. Why? What was wrong with it before? And the other one, like what Liam said about his game, where the player ran past. He wasn't impacting the contest, man. Why are you penalising him? He was nowhere near. Like, the bloke was going back to take his kick.
Following his man.
Yeah.
He was taking his kick to goal. It wasn't going to impact. He wasn't going to impact. All the umpire had to do was say, move. How many times did the umpire...
He was literally, he was on the other side of the player and he was following his opponent to the next contest. He had nothing to do with where the mark was taken.
Well, that happened against Collingwood Essendon. Same thing happened against Collingwood Essendon. I think it was Myercheck or Bo McCurry was running through, and all of a sudden he says, oh, you're interfering. How the fuck are you interfering? I got no idea. The bloke was 15 metres away, but he was interfering. Yeah.
Bo reckons he likes the idea of the post lighting up if he hits it. The problem is with that Bojack, is what if you hit the post?
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Then it lights up. You know, they got the snicko for the post. I don't mind that. They've kind of been using that. That's all right. The snicko's all right if it hits it. You know, you can kind of get that. And you know what? If it's 100% right or not 100, we kind of like accept it. You know what I mean? Like we accept it in cricket. We just accept it. We go, all righty, we accept that. You know, like that's fair enough. You know what I mean? It's not the main decision. It's just to help the decision. You know, I don't mind that. You know, but
can I ask that North Melbourne game where it was showing just one particular angle where the player, you know, he's basically said that he's touched the ball. All right. Now, why do they keep showing the same review on the same angle? It's like, it doesn't make sense to me. You know, it's why haven't you got cameras on every single angle to be able to pick up, you know, other angles? So this is what really gets me. I don't understand. I seriously don't understand.
Yeah. I think there's also a thing about with cameras and technology, who pays for it?
What do you mean? You got isn't it Fox Sports that's basically shagging the AFL or KO, whatever they're called?
Yeah, but then Fox Sports turns around and goes, well, you want better vision, you get it. We don't give a fuck about the decisions. And the AFL go, well, we don't want to pay for it. You show it, you pay for it. That's been the dispute going on for ages. Who pays for it? Foxtel doesn't want to pay for it, and they're probably right. Why should we pay for it? You're the one that's got to get the decisions right.
Yeah, right? The chicken and the egg. Chicken and the egg, isn't it?
So what they want, as far as I know, they want Foxtel to pay for the extra cameras. Yeah. So they can get their and then they can use the footage. Yeah. Where Foxtel are going, no, I'm not paying for extra cameras. So I think that's a major problem too. But you know what? To me, it's the AFL. You're the one that's got to get the game right. You're the one that's got to get it right, not me. I'm just showing the vision. You want to get it right. But again, I think this technology is actually ruining the game.
Yeah.
It's actually ruining the game. We got a game that's pure. Just leave it, man. Run, get the ball, take a mark, handball, kick a goal. It's pure, man. Just leave it. You know what I mean? Just don't look to make a decision. Just pick the decision that's there. Don't look for one. At the moment, it looks like they're looking to make a decision. They need to find a fucking decision. They need to find something. That's what it looks like. Everything. They need to find it. That's what shits me. Just let it go. You know what I mean? Like, if it's a clear high tackle, pay it. If the ball, now, like if a player goes to attack the ball and he just lifts up his arm because some fucking 300-pound bloke's about to ram into him. Oh, yeah, prior. All right, you know what I'm going to do, Greg Swan? I'm going to run towards you, right? I'm going to run towards you in a second and tell me if you got prior. So I got prior in half a second to make a decision and hit the handball. Like, so I see my instinct is, if I see the ball, my instinct would be to stop someone, wouldn't it? No, that's your prior, remember. So that's the problem, you know what I mean? So anyway, listen, we could go on and on about this, but it won't stop. I'm sure we'll talk about it next week. I want to quickly go into a couple of other things before we get into our games. The next one was this one here. The big Anzac Day. Calls for big clubs to be scrapped from Anzac Day. That's been the talking point. I'm going to leave it up to you two blokes here, and then I'll get the chat to have their thoughts about it. But it's 20 years, mate. Is it time to give other teams a game on the MCG on Anzac Day?
Yeah, I first and foremost, can I say that it really doesn't matter who you put in there on the day, because it's such a special day. You're going to get a lot of people who are going to go to that event. Yeah, it's probably compared to, from what I've heard from others telling me, you could almost compare it to a grand final. Yeah.
Yep.
There's a lot of people go to it. I heard a lady was telling me that she had never been. She went there for the first time, and she actually sat there and was just mesmerized that there was 90,000+ people, and that minute of silence. She goes, I could hear a baby crying in the distance. She goes, it was just goosebumps. She said I had goosebumps. So, I know we talk about traditions, and we talk about, it should be Collingwood and it should be, but I think at the end of the day, when you see that you've got Collingwood that's dominating every time they play Essendon, right? Essendon at the moment is just one of those rotten apples that just sits there and it doesn't rot, but it's there, but it's rotten. And I think, do we look at things like Richmond and Carlton, for example? I mean, their tradition is, used to be round one, and then, of course, they introduced the opening round and that fucked things up. But you know what? I think maybe they should experiment. I reckon maybe they need to put, a team like the Bombers aside for, a couple of years, just to make them realise, you know what? You're gaining financially a lot of money from this, especially when it's your home game. And you got 90,000+ people, because people are going to go to this. But you know what? Do you really deserve it? I don't
think it's about deserving. I think it's about and I mean also, both with the point.
And also, is it a spectacle? Because I can tell you right now, all right, it's got to be it's got to be tight. It's got to be a close game. I think what they should do is, they should look at. I think what they should do is look at. Look. I was going to say that you probably look at what teams are sort of peaking, and then you can make a decision. But, of course, the rounds are developed at the start of the year. I don't know. Maybe they need to change things around. I think this Collingwood Essendon thing is getting too boring for me.
Before we go on to Mark, just like Bocek says about our whole traditional game, leave a Collingwood Essendon. No, you're wrong there, Bo. Sorry, you're wrong. You're wrong because they take every other tradition away. They took away the bounds. They're going to take away Carlton and Richmond. That's a tradition. That's been going for 10 or 12 years. Collingwood and Essendon been going for 20 years. It's not a tradition for 100 years. You want to know the truth? The first real Anzac game was Carlton and Collingwood in the 70s, right? So don't give me about tradition because tradition can change, right? It's not about that. The game now itself, I'd have to say, Collingwood and Essendon, I applaud you. You've now built the Anzac game. It now will remain as a force. The Anzac Day game will remain as a force. Doesn't matter who plays. I saw someone say, would Port and West Coast? First of all, they're not going to play Port and West Coast, right? You're always going to be like, you're going to play like a Victorian side and then someone else, right? That's what I think is going to happen. So you're not going to get that. But you know what? When West Coast and Sydney played in the grand final, there was 90,000 people there. You know what I mean? So you're always going to get 80, 90, 95,000 at that game because it's more than a game now. You know, it's about the Anzacs and it's about the whole day. I've got plenty of people who go to Anzac Day who don't follow Essendon and Collingwood.
No.
So you're going to get, it's like a grand final. So I think it's time. I'm going to go to you, Mark. You come up with a good idea in the chat, which I kind of like, and I want you to tell us about this idea.
Yeah, but just on that, Rocco, not and many, not 9 times out of 10, regardless of where Essendon and Collingwood on the ladder, on Anzac Day, it is quite a good spectacle, mate. It has been quite close. I think last year was a draw. So, you know, in the 20 years that they've played, they've had some frigging crackerjack games, mate, regardless of where positions are on the ladder. Obviously for the weekend, it wasn't a really good game to watch. It wasn't a good spectacle, but that can certainly change. And I'm happy for it to change in some ways. And I have come up with a bit of an idea, Rocco. Basically, winner plays on. So a prime example right now, Collingwood would play next year and they will play against alphabetically ordered. So they'll play against Adelaide next year. All right. So winner plays on. Play against Adelaide. If Adelaide win, they'll play on. They'll play the second alphabetical team, which is Brisbane, and continue from there onwards. Maybe give that a go for a good 10.
Winner stays on. That's your reward for winning the game. You get to host it the year after. You know what I mean?
You will still get the 90,000. You will always get the 90,000.
You know, Bo, you're starting to give me the shits here, bro. Just quietly, right? All of shit, bro. You're gonna get. We get 75,000 for Carlton and Richmond when we're at the bottom of the ladder. You're trying to tell me if Carlton and Richmond play that game, we're not going to get 90,000? Are you kidding me? Like, come on,
going on traditional games too, Rocco. You know, we had the dream time as well, Essendon and Richmond. So, you know, every year it's always been Essendon and Richmond, and sometimes it needs to be kind of moved as well because, you know, I can remember years ago where we had at least half a dozen Indigenous players playing on Dreamtime. You know, you had your Dean Riolis, your Courtney Dempseys, your Leroy Jettas, Alwyn Davies. Richmond had a few Indigenous boys as well. The last couple of years, I think we've had one, Jade Gresham. And, you know, he struggles to even play in the seniors, in the first these days. So, you know, maybe give, you know, again, teams an opportunity on Dreamtime. Again, round 1, Carlton and Richmond, you know, like you're saying, Manny, the spectacle is probably not.
West Coast and Richmond would get 90,000 on Anzac Day.
Yeah, they would.
They would get 90,000 on Anzac Day. They would get it. And I put my fucking board.
What happens if it's West Coast Adelaide? You're not going to get it, are you?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But do you get them in the grand final?
You get them in the grand final because you get a lot of corporate.
What do you get at the Anzac Day?
You know what? If it's West Coast, they play at home, mate. That's all there is.
What do you get at Anzac Day? What do you get at Anzac Day? You get a lot of corporate. A lot of people just go for the event. They go for the day. Yeah. You know? Look, we can agree. It doesn't matter that you disagree, Bocek. It doesn't matter that you disagree. You know why? Because you're wrong.
Well, you know what? I might actually say that I actually agree with Bocek. I've had a bit of a think about it, and
Here we
maybe
go.
Bocek is right. Maybe
Grand
something.
final doesn't compare
be
to
a
Anzac
tradition.
Day, but it's a close second. It's the second biggest game of the thing. It's almost bigger than your prelims.
Yeah.
But to answer that, I would still love the tradition to go on Essendon Collingwood. It's a
Of course
beautiful
you would,
game.
because it's Essendon.
But you know,
It's a money maker for you. Listen,
Well,
for you, it's a money maker. Okay.
Why is it a money
Remember,
maker?
wherever there's
Hold on.
Collingwood, there's money for you to be made. Remember
Well, it was
that.
an Essendon home ground.
Collingwood-
It was an
Collingwood can
Essendon
play.
home game.
Listen, exactly. Collingwood can play in a in
I
little
think you
lake.
share that. I think you share it.
Yeah.
Do you?
I think you share the takings.
Really?
Yeah.
I think if it's a home and away game, I think it's different, isn't it?
No, I think for this game, there was an agreement between Collingwood, between Eddie Maguire and Kevin Sheedy, that they would share the takings. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure about that, because they knew it was going to be a big game every year.
Yeah.
So, but who knows? But you know, what I'm going to do is I was going to wait a bit, but I'm going to get this bloke in straight up. Jezza, all the way from West Coast.
How's it going, boys? Are we well?
I brought in
I
Jezza
thought I'd
because-
get on and bring a bit of colour to show you. All in mourning or something. What's with all the black?
What do you think?
What
do you mean?
Well, you just spoiled it.
Yellow and black. In the
Yeah,
song.
yeah, all right, okay.
You should be
Yeah,
wearing black.
yellow and black in the song.
But I
Interesting
thought
fact
I'll
there,
bring
boys,
in a
before
bit
I come
early
on.
because we are going to do the review of the mate. This is like the clash of the Titans, West
Oh.
Coast and Richmond, and we got the father and son here, so it's going to be a bit of fun. But I wanted your take. What do you reckon about Anzac Day?
Well, I can give you a real good perspective on this. I actually paid $80 to go and watch Fremantle and Carlton the other night at the Anzac game. I won't give two rats clackers about either of those teams. I was cheering for Carlton because I won't cheer for Fremantle, but I wanted Fremantle to win for the tip. It's exactly like you guys say. It's a big event, and people want to go and watch big events. People can't always get to the grand final because the tickets are scarce. It costs a fortune, flights and all that. So it really doesn't matter who's playing in those games. Those games are now standalone big affairs for the AFL. So it doesn't matter who's playing in them. The crowds will turn up. The crowds will be there. Mind you, Fremantle only managed to get 55,000 people, so 5,000 short of the stadium capacity. But Fremantle, I'll give them their due. They've actually done really well with that whole tribute game. It's a great ceremony at the start of the game. It's really, really good. You get veterans standing next to all the players in during the national anthems and stuff like that. It's really, really good. And I can compare because I've actually been to Melbourne for the Anzac games and the Anzac Eve games. And all of those games are really, really good. So do we need to change it? Look, I know Manny's going on at the moment because he loves Collingwood and stuff, and he thinks, yeah, Essendon didn't have a great game on the weekend. They got beaten badly after halftime. That's going to happen in those games as well. If it happens in grand final,
Exactly.
what happened in the grand final after halftime last year was the same thing. So it doesn't really matter what the game is. You can get belted in any game. So I don't think you need to be changing anything. I think as it is, it's good. I didn't mind your idea, though, Mark, that is the winner stays on and plays the other people. But a big Anzac game in all the states. Like Fremantle had theirs this year. There was one down in Tassie, I think, with Hawthorn and Gold Coast and stuff like that. Obviously, you had the one in Melbourne and stuff like that. The Anzac Eve one has turned into a really big game there for Richmond and Melbourne. So do they need to change them just because they're not getting the results? I mean, isn't it more about the fans getting along to see and being something that's really, really big? I mean, if you stand in that crowd at the MCG when they do that minute silence, man, that is one of the most amazing things I've ever been involved in my life. It is unbelievable. So you don't want to be changing too much for that.
I don't think so, but I think I think it's time to let the other teams get in there because, as I said, I still think they'll get a massive crowd. They'll get a huge crowd regardless of who's playing because it's more about the day, the Anzacs, and what Collingwood of Essendon have built in the last 20 years. You know what I mean? You know when they say that Pendlebury's won 4 Anzac medals, who gives a fuck? Like, who gives a fuck? There's only 2 teams involved. You know, like who cares? You know what I mean? Like you can't have that in his resume because it doesn't mean anything. It only means something to Collingwood and Essendon. You know what I mean? But if every team was involved, then yes, it means something. You know what I mean? Like how can Pendlebury have 4 Anzac medals? Like, so what? St Kilda doesn't get an Anzac medal. West Coast doesn't get an Anzac medal. You know, like, you know, they also give one now for the other games, but that only started recently that they started playing Anzac games in other on the same day. You know, so you know, like I don't know, but anyway, just a thought. We're gonna get we're just gonna do this super chat. Slobbo, Manny, I saw you last weekend at Rippers. I don't know where that is, but
What is Rippers?
At the strippers. At the strippers.
Oh, you were there.
well,
Is that what it's called? It's called Rippers.
I don't know.
Ripper
Is that what you
strippers.
do? Is that what you do on the side?
Oh God!
You wouldn't make too much money. Just
People apart. But Rippers, I've got don't know what.
All right,
Had you seen a couple of other well-known establishments? When I wore a younger man's clothes, I probably did go to these establishments, but not at my age, mate. At my tender age, all I need is a cup of tea, my moccasins, because I still have my moccasins, and like sitting on the couch and watching the replays of the Magpies ripping the Bombers apart. Or maybe maybe that's what he meant by Rippers. That we ripped the Bombers apart. I don't know.
Maybe you got a lookalike, Manny. Maybe there's a lookalike out there, mate. You've got a twin brother.
There's many that have tried. Many have tried to look like me, my friend. There's
many have tried to look like Manny, have they?
Yeah.
But they haven't been successful.
I've definitely fucking gone to the gym and thought, I want to look like Manny. Yeah, you're absolutely right there, mate. While we're talking about disgrace, let's talk about this bloke here. Scott Pendlebury to wear the gold number 10 in a record-breaking match. Look at that number 10 on the back. What do people think about this? And I want the chat to answer this, right? About allowing Scott Pendlebury to wear a gold number 10 on the day. Talk about look at me, look at me, look at me.
I think you've got it.
Let me speak before I let you speak, right? You know, we didn't see Brett Harvey wear a big gold number on his back. He just wore a nice little number on the thing there. We didn't see Kevin Barler do it or Tuck, who won 7 grand finals. We didn't see any of them do it.
Okay.
Right. But now all of a sudden, you know, the look at me, look at me, look at me. I hope you do wear it. And the other thing is, yous are such a bunch of scary cats, right? That you're resting Pendlebury in certain games so you end up playing West Coast. Yous are too scared to play someone like a Geelong or a Brisbane the week before, right?
Yeah.
So you know that you're going to lose. So what you've done is you've absolutely timed it to play West Coast. You guys are an absolute bunch of dorks, bro. And I hope that Pendlebury wears the number 10. The big fucking, there should be yellow, like big fucking bananas.
Well, hang on, Rocco. You're saying dorks. One of your friends, Mr. A. Christou, once turned around and said that he portrayed that he had an injury in order to make sure that he played his 100th game at a certain location, right? Yeah. Now, all right.
But he didn't play it. He didn't play it because he wanted to guarantee the win.
Okay.
He played it because he wanted to guarantee where he was playing. But regardless of that, he's a fucking banana too. I don't know how that helps your argument. How does because he's a banana, it now helps your argument, does it?
Well, it will, because you got to remember something, right? There's two things involved here. One is clever marketing, all right? And Jezza, you'll be able to understand this because we're similar of age. These younger boys don't understand. But clever marketing, because I can tell you right now, in 20 years' time, you're going to have at least 50,000, right, Magpie supporters who are going to have one of those jumpers with that gold number 10 in the back, and that is basically history. Yeah.
Didn't Joffa wear the gold jacket?
This particular player achieved that.
You still have a number 10. And
Right.
as Benito
Doesn't matter,
Valentino said,
right?
if
Like I
Pendlebury
said,
was smart and
it's-
humble,
it's-
he'd
it's
knock it
marketing.
back and say, no, I'm no
Let me
different to
finish.
any of my
Let
teammates.
me
And
finish.
the same colour number, please.
Rocco, let
Exactly
me finish.
100% right. It's all
It's-
about me, and use
It's
the
marketing.
shit yourself
It's
and use
marketing.
the organising to play against West Coast. What
Listen,
a bunch of fucking
It's
losers.
first of all, it's marketing. It's a very smart way to sell a product. They will sell the product, and I guarantee you there will be kids that don't even barrack for Collingwood that will go out there and they'll want to buy that jumper. All right, so it's right. It's
So,
marketing.
you
I'm not
reckon
saying,
the
I'm not
kids-
saying you guys. I'm not saying you guys, but there will be kids out there now.
You
Right,
reckon
it's-
that like all
it's
these
marketing.
kids went and bought a Brett Harvey
It's-
fucking jumper,
Well,
did they?
back then, maybe they didn't promote it that well. Maybe they didn't promote
What
it
do you
that well.
mean they didn't promote it? It was only a few years ago, you fucking banana.
Well, maybe they didn't promote it that well.
Gold, but look at me. Look at me.
Well,
I'm going to wear
you know
a
what?
gold fucking
You know
number.
what? If it's working, it's
Fucking
working.
loser, bro.
Now, first
Oh,
of all,
yeah. I'm going to
second of
go.
all,
You know what I'm going to do at the TJP studio? I'm going to put the number 10 here because it's Pendlebury played the most games against
Why not?
West Coast.
why not? You know what?
Fucking loser.
If that was Cripps, you would have done it. Now,
Yeah, that was Cribs. That was
Yeah.
Cribs. And I would call him a banana too if he wore a big yellow fucking 9.
listen. First of all,
Shut up.
right, so let's put that aside for a moment.
Mate, come on, mate.
Go for a bit of a walk. Now, the other thing is you got to remember is that
Yeah, get out of here, Manny, mate. Get out of here.
Oh,
yeah. Well, like I said,
there it is.
first of all, that's the one thing, right? That they're promoting it, right? They're promoting it. The other thing is this: you can't expect a 38-year-old who was best on ground, right?
That's got nothing to do with
They
that.
have-
That's for, we'll
they have
talk
that
about that
expectation.
later.
Hang on, McRae's thinking to himself, you know what? He's a huge asset, but I'd rather have him not play against Hawthorn because we've only had a 5-day turnaround. Yeah. And Hawthorn is not Essendon. Yeah. Hawthorn's going to be a tough game. Now, I'm not saying we're going to beat
Yourself, bro.
Hawthorn.
You just
But you
proven
rather-
that your club
Manny,
is not a team.
Manny,
He's
Manny.
not a team player. He's all about himself, right? And you are shit yourself when you play and you
I
want to play
disagree.
against West Coast.
I
Manny, just
disagree.
quickly, Manny.
He is nothing but a gentleman. Nothing but
Manny.
a gentleman.
Manny,
He's a
quickly.
banana.
Manny, didn't Joffa wear a gold jacket? Isn't it a bit cliche? Cliche there, mate.
Him and
Joffa.
Joppa are the same. Him and Joppa are the same. What do you reckon, Jezza, about this?
Oh, jeez, bloody hell. Manny, I love your passion, mate. It's true. Look, I don't know if you've seen any of the comments, but there's been a lot of comments from the Collingwood fans saying pretty much what I think it was Enzo before. No, they don't like the idea of him singing. Now, I agree with you. It's a fantastic marketing ploy. I reckon they will sell a heap of them for sure. I don't know if the player needs to. I've seen other players have milestone games, and all the teams, the jerseys will have like that player's number somewhere on their jersey as a little thumbs up to say, well done and reaching the milestone. And I don't know Scott Pendlebury. I know him as the footballer. He's a champion guy. I've seen him in an interview. He seems like a really, really cool guy. I don't think he would want that either. I think he'd like to go play the game, get the record, that sort of stuff. He's a gun player. He'll go down in history. He's one of the best ever and stuff like that. I don't think he'd want the extra focus on him. I don't think it's what he would want. And I'm surprised that the club has signed off on it. That's what I read today. The coach and the club has signed off and said, yeah, we've got permission from the AFL to do it. Again, it's a fantastic marketing ploy. You will sell a lot. But I have to say, if you think anybody other than Collingwood supporters are going to be buying that jersey, you're deluded, mate.
The comment
That
of the
will
year
not-
that
Oh,
other
we'll
people
see.
have.
We'll
The
see.
only people that might buy it is people that have no allegiance to any team, would think, yeah, let's get it. It's a good thing. hope I meet this guy one day and get it signed. It'd probably be worth something. But other than that, nah, I don't think so. I think
something.
he's already
You know
going to
why?
be
There'll be
the
a
greatest
million
player to play the game. Why does he need to have a gold number on the back of his jersey? No, not for me.
I think it's just coming down to marketing. That's what it is. It's a marketing ploy. As you said, as I said.
Does Collingwood need to do any more marketing? You said before that the Anzac game is only good because you guys are playing so well, and Essendon are crap, and they shouldn't be in it. I mean, you don't need to market Collingwood already. Your fans are passionate. We all know that.
I agree that. I agree,
thousands of members.
Yeah, I agree.
Players around the country.
I agree.
It's unnecessary. I agree, marketing, yes, but I don't think the players should wear it. I have to agree with Rocky. It is a bit of, hey, look at me. We know it's his big night and stuff like that. So we don't need to worry. We don't need to point it out any more than it already is. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, look, like I said, if Hollywood's thinking, you know what, we might sell 20,000 of these jumpers. You know what? It's marketing. It's smart marketing, and it is what it is.
You want to know the truth. I think Pendlebury is one of the great players, and what he did when he played Carlton and he went up to Burn at the end of the game after he missed the goals, mate, gentlemen. But I think he's embarrassed by this. And I think it's a disgrace what they're doing. I think the AFL are a disgrace. I think Colin was a disgrace for even telling him he should be wearing this number 10. I reckon if you ask, honestly, Pendlebury, he would say no. Maybe like you said, like what Harvey, Brett Harvey did, you put his number, everyone can have the number on the jersey. And then you know what? Maybe later on you bring out a special top, you bring out 1,000 of them with a gold number, you get it signed and people can buy it, you know, like they do for everything else, yeah? But to wear it on the ground, it's embarrassing, bro. It's embarrassing. I can't believe, for your sake, I hope Pendlebury says, no, man, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this, you know what I mean? But if for you to say that, you don't know, your mouth flaps. You got no idea what you're fucking talking about. People are going to buy his top, are they? Kids who follow Carlton and Essendon are going to buy a Pendlebury top. Are you serious, bro?
Let's go back. Let's go back 20 minutes ago when you turned around and said that there are a lot of people that go to these events, special events, like Anzac Day, for example, the grand final, where they don't care about the actual game itself, but they care about
wear their tops.
No,
I'm not saying you're going to wearing their top.
I'm not saying you're going to wear it, but I'm saying that people would think to themselves, you know what? This is a little part of history of the AFL. You know what? I might buy it. You just never know. This is the way.
Until the next person breaks it, just like Harvey, until the next person breaks it. What history? All right, so he's got it, but it's embarrassing. But stop flapping your lips. Like, why don't you stop when you're ahead?
What do you mean? I'm not the one who's promoting it, Rocco. For me personally, I don't care. For me, he's a superstar. He'll always be a superstar.
What's that got to do with?
He's a great ambassador of the game. He's a great ambassador for the game.
Numbers to Coleman medalists. Should they wear it on the last game too? Coleman medalists. What about a Brownlow medal? We should do Brownlow medalists. You wear the gold number for the whole year, the next year. How's that sound? Like, how far does it go, mate? Just come on, bro. Full of shit. Anyway, let's move on because you're starting.
On a serious note, just quickly, Rocco, on a serious note, now with Pendle's, Manny, with Pendle's on a serious note, they're resting him for the Hawthorn game. Is that correct?
No, not for the Hawthorn game. Hawthorn's playing tomorrow.
And he's been managed. He's not playing.
Hawthorn's playing tomorrow against Collingwood.
Yeah, they're resting him for the Hawthorn game.
They're resting him for the Hawthorn
But he's saying he's not playing tomorrow.
He's not playing tomorrow.
Oh, sorry, Friday. What are they playing? Friday.
They are playing tomorrow.
Whatever. Well, this week's game, mate. They're resting him against Hawthorn. Is that right?
That's right.
All right. Sorry. My apologies for the actual time. What I can't understand, why would you rest a player that's had 43 coming off 43 possessions? Hold on. And they rest a player that's had 43 possessions. Yeah, we know he's getting older. Now they're playing against Hawthorn, which is a top 4 team. Why would you rest a player like that? I mean, you're playing against a team.
Because you want to get a player who's going to give you 100%. Now, this is where you guys seem to fuck up as a football club because you throw in any fucking banana. Whereas we work on common sense. The player's not going to give you 100%. He's 38 years old. He ain't going to give you 100%, Marco. He ain't going to give you 100%.
Listen.
For fuck's sake, wake up and smell the fucking coffee. That's why you boys.
Is it just a coincidence, Manny, that it happens to fall on West Coast?
Yeah, that's right.
I think it is. I think it is a coincidence.
I mean, if you guys are continuing to play finals, right? If you continue, you guys would be continuing to play finals, correct?
No.
Well, you're not continuing to play finals. You don't think you guys will make the finals this year?
Look, I'm a realist, Marco. I don't think at the moment.
So that's why the rest of
I don't think at the moment we are at a level where, like I said to you before the show started, that the only way we're going to be proven that we are perhaps a team to contend is what we do in the next 3 weeks.
Okay,
right?
So that's my point. You're coming off 43
and what I'm saying is that Pendlebury had a brilliant game, and his 5-day turnaround is not enough for Pendlebury to be able to give.
So Collingwood's using Pendlebury.
Collingwood will be playing for 50% of the time.
So Collingwood will be using Pendlebury to play against teams like Richmond, Essendon, West Coast, so he can get his 40 possessions. But when it comes up against a team that's up towards the top, wouldn't you want to play that player to be competitive? You're giving up the game.
Marco, it's called common sense. You want to put in players who are going to give you 100%. You want to put players who are going to give you 100%.
But he's giving you 43 positions.
Mate, like I said, I don't think you understand. Maybe I'll speak to you in Italian. I don't know. You understand German. Maybe I'll speak to you in Arabic, if you understand Arabic. What I'm saying to you is that Pendlebury is not going to be capable to give the team 100% according to McRae. He's the coach. He makes the decision, right? Now, he thinks to himself, I'd rather put in 3-4 other players that are going to give me 100%. Now, we're not playing against the Bombers. The Bombers was a training session for us. The Bombers was a training session for us. Now we're going to play against some serious competition. Yeah?
You're resting.
Hawthorn is serious competition. So why would you put in a player who 5 days ago, all right, and a 38-year-old? Come on.
At 43 positions.
You know what?
I am absolutely, what? This is like theatre here. I'm absolutely loving this because the logic in your face, right? So Pendlebury won't play his 100 against Hawthorn, won't play 100% against Hawthorn. What sort of logic is that? What sort of logic is that?
If the player's in form, you're not going to play him.
It's common sense.
What's common sense about that?
Manny, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Yep. So you're saying you rested Pendlebury because he had a big game, 43 possessions. Nick Dacos had 42 possessions. Josh Dacos had 35 possessions in the same game. Are you going to rest them? It's the same distance.
Man,
If they were 38 years old, Jezza, if they were 38 years old, you would rest them.
Yeah, no, but
if they were 38 years old.
Are
They're not 38 years old.
Are they resting side bottom?
I think they are.
No, they're resting Jeremy Howe.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think they might.
Because they're playing Hawthorn, that's right.
I know more about the team than
maybe they're playing Brisbane, and when they play Geelong, they'll rest all half the team there as well. Like, fuck, come on, man. It's like you guys are giving up.
Absolutely, Joe. You know what? Rest him. Wear your fucking gold number 10 against West Coast. Well done.
One more thing before we go. I do agree with Marcus, right? You want to have your best players out there. I would have thought a bloke that can do something like that's in your best team. But all right. But just one thing on this whole number business, just back with Manny. Just rewind to a couple weeks ago. Do you remember when we did Minute of Madness and we asked you what number Scott Pendlebury wore? Did you get that answer right?
From memory, I did say
out of interest.
I think I said number 5, but it was his number 10.
He looks just like Jamie Elliott.
We just wanted to refresh everyone's memory on that.
So which jumper are you going to get? 5 or 10 on your wall, Manny? Which one are you
You know
going to
what?
get?
He's going to be confused.
I might get number 45 because I'm actually starting to be a fan of this young bloke, surname Steele. He's really, really impressed me the last few games. So maybe we're opening the gates for future players.
When are you going to get it? When are you going to get it?
When am I going to get what?
When are you going to get this jumper that you said you're going to get now?
Which one?
45.
45.
I don't know. I'll have to think about it.
I wouldn't get it.
You just said I'm going to get this. Now you're going to think about it.
No, I said I may. You got to listen. Listen, if you go to court, you got to be able to be very careful what you say. I may. I said. All right. I may.
What was his name again? What was his name again?
Jack Steele.
Steele or Steen?
No. Ron Steele.
He's playing for Melbourne.
He doesn't even know who he is.
No. It's
Number
Ron
45,
Steele.
Yeah,
And I'd be-
Ron Steele was Oscar Steen, who's number 21.
Oh,
And number 45 is Steele. Steele.
yeah,
Go
Ron.
on, Google search their
Ron.
It's not Steele. It's
18
Steen.
disposals on the weekend.
Steen.
What's that,
Not
mate?
Steele.
18 disposals on the weekend.
Yeah.
And Manny, I
is that
probably
what
would
number you're going to get? Number
I wouldn't get number
45.
45, Manny. You know why, mate? Because after 12 months, just be mindful, just through experience. In 12 months, he might change the number, mate. So just wait maybe another year or two before you get his number, buddy.
All right, let's move on because this circus act has gone way too long.
Yeah.
Before we go into the teams, I'm just going to have my quick say about our president of the Carlton Football Club. You fraud. So he's brought out, he's sent out to the members his second email in 2 weeks after the debacle of 2 weeks ago. He still hasn't made an appearance, the fraud. Unlike Pendlebury, who likes to be seen, this bloke does not want to be seen. He won't make an appearance. He wrote the second email, and what did the email talk about? The email talked about the father and son and the draft picks. That's the email he brought out after our club is on their knees. And then near the end of the email, he quickly mentioned about Elijah and his well-being and all that. And he wrote one paragraph right at the end of the email. Again, if you're listening, which you're not, but I'm sure some media people are listening to this, you're a fraud. And the sooner you leave this club, the better, because you're a disgrace and you're no leader of, let alone this football club. You're not a leader of men. Let's move on.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, I think it's time for this. The rivals round. We'll talk about some of the games that came up. The first one we're going to talk about is, what a game this was. What a fantastic game this was. Wasn't it, Liam? Where Richmond was 72, Melbourne 126. It's just one thumping after another, isn't it? Like, it's never ending. This is like a nightmare that you can't wake up from. So, I pretty much watched some of this, and I actually kind of got a little bit bored of it. But, Melbourne ran away with it. And actually, Melbourne, they're on 5 wins now and aren't looking too bad.
Yeah, Melbourne they're a pretty decent team. The only good thing about that guy, Cozzy, was I brought him into my fantasy team. He did really well. So, look, it actually wasn't our worst game. There was some improvement, particularly the first 3 quarters. I thought that you could see our game plan starting to work. We were actually putting decent scores on the board, and we were kicking accurately as well. That's a really big change. I like to see that. I think still some of our little positioning was a little bit different. At times when we needed a centre stoppage, we had Sam Lawler trapped down at full forward, not doing anything. And then as soon as we bring him into middle, he he wins a clearance, but it's after they've already kicked 2 or 3 goals. Also, the ruck decision. I don't know if Fozjan is still in the chat. We were talking about it yesterday, but don't know what Samson Ryan's still doing there. He's selected in our team as the number 1 ruckman. He had 4 hitouts and he played 44% on ground. So that's terrible. He needs to go. Noah Bolter in there was actually wicked. A couple of young guys debuted. They were really good. Sam Cumming, he was really good. Kicked his first goal, set up a couple. Good hard in and under player. He's going to be a really good player if we can keep him fit, which is obviously the challenge at the moment. Yeah, look, there were signs in this game, but I did see some improvement. I think in the last quarter, particularly, that Melbourne just put the foot down. They were better than us. And as I said earlier, umpiring in general in this game, shocking. It really was the worst game that I'd seen umpired. I mean, we spoke about that decision with Ben Miller, but there was a couple holding the balls, missed, not paid. I mean, one down in the goal square where Tom Lynch is tackled, Gaff, I think it was, didn't get paid. There was one in the middle of the ground, didn't dispose of the ball. He literally dropped the ball, didn't get paid. There was, I could sit here name a dozen more incidences where the umpiring was terrible and they really let us down, which is unfortunate. And it did have a little bit of an impact. However, as I said, Melbourne, they're a good team in the end. They got the job done. Hopefully this week we can play a bit better.
Hopefully for your sake, not for your dad's sake, but hopefully for your sake.
Yeah, depends who you ask.
Depends on who you ask. Nah, that was good. I mean, it's going to be a big game. But anyway, all right. That's all we got. Look, we'll get straight into this game. We'll get the 2 boys. This was the Anzac. It's all about the Anzac Day. So, 60-7. They pretty much, I think, first quarter was pretty competitive, and then Collingwood ran away, and Pendlebury decided to take over, and 40 odd possessions, a couple of goals, and took the game right away from you, Marco.
Yes, Bello, they certainly did, mate. Even the first quarter, even though it was quite competitive, the disposal and the pressure was just pretty crap, to be quite honest. I mean, even Dacos turned the ball over a few times in that first quarter, so wasn't a really good start to the Anzac Day game. But I was really disappointed after halftime. You know, the Anzac spirit. That's how I see it. Courage. Desperation. Fight until the end. Cover for your teammates. Commitment. Didn't see any of that from the Essendon Football Club, mate, after halftime, especially an Anzac Day game. So really disappointed. It's probably one of the worst games I've actually seen. Disposal again, the turnovers. At one stage, I think there was about 4 or 5 players chasing, a 38-year-old veteran there in Pendlebury. And, where were they manning up? Chasing a 38-year-old player. Two players going up for the ball. Both missed the ball. So it was like watching the under-10s, honestly, for this club on the weekend. It was quite embarrassing, to be honest. Mackay, I don't know, there's some speculations about him. I'm not quite sure if you boys were aware that he punched the ball and he clapped straight after it.
Yeah, he literally stopped while it was in play. That was terrible.
He was still in play.
There was no one around him, Mark.
No. I
think there was no one around him. The awareness freaks me out. Don't worry, I understand because we've got.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was quite kind of concerned about, like, what the hell are you doing, buddy? What are you clapping for? Like, and then the spoil, like, he had no one on him and he's just fucking punched it. I mean, I was starting to look at it differently at one stage. But yeah, just the way we played that second half, to be honest, I mean, Collingwood won, but we let them play the way they played, and kudos to them. They won the game quite easily, but it was more about the way we played as opposed to the way they won. Especially having somebody at 38 years old having 43 disposals is just absolutely ridiculous. One limelight though was Archie Roberts. He had 42 disposals. They won't be resting him this week. That he'll be playing. So it was quite sad to see that we've got one of our young boys, racking up 43 possessions. So all in all, again, leaders, not good enough. McGrath, Langford, Mackay, Peter Wright. This can't keep going on. It can't keep going on. I can't keep doing this. I was watching the game and And I was there and I was starting to get a little bit upset. And I noticed family and friends were starting to look at me a little bit differently, as if to say, wow, you're taking a little bit too serious. And I was, I've got to switch off and just not let it affect me too much. But if they're going to keep going like that, I'm scared of what I'm going to actually do to the TV one day. So come on, Bombers, let's change things. But very disappointing from my side of things, Danny.
Yeah, look, I want to say first and foremost that it's a special day, Anzac Day, and that's what was wonderful. As I said earlier on, it's wonderful to see that people follow this tradition and everything that's involved with it. And I also want to thank the Essendon Football Club for letting us win. I'm really excited. Thanks for that, Mark. I'm just overwhelmed by the fact that you've actually let the Essendon Football Club beat us, let us win, sorry. I mean, I think had you not let us win, I don't know what to say, mate. I said, it could have been a whole different thing. Listen, I think the sad thing is that the Essendon Football Club actually believed that they were in with a chance because they had a competitive game last week, and the week before that they lost, but they won 3 quarters. Remember that game that you guys had won 3 quarters of football, but you guys got done. Look, the reality is that you guys are a shit team. You guys haven't got nothing really to. It would have been shocking to see that you guys were even going to get close to this game. And I think what we did as a team is finish you guys off. There's not much I could say. Pendlebury, he's a superstar at the age of 38, and we look after our geriatrics, as you say. Mark, our 38-year-old, he won't be playing against Hawthorn, a 5-day turnaround. But you know what? I think it's just a spectacle of the day. It's really, really, as Jezza said, it's one of those traditions, and I think it's great. But am I going to say anything about the game? It was a boring game. Especially at the end of that third quarter. I'm sitting there and I'm just enjoying it. I'm sipping on a glass of wine. And I'm thinking to myself, this is fantastic. This is absolutely wonderful. It's nice to always see. It's nice to see Collingwood ripping Essendon apart because like I said, I don't rate you guys at all, and I think it was a boring game. It would have been better if we were playing, maybe some team from the
Hawthorn or something.
Well, something. It just would have been a little bit more entertaining as a game. It was a boring game.
You'll
be honestly, just be honest with me and you boys as well. Did you honestly think that Collingwood were going to win by that much?
Easy.
Yeah. No. Now, Manny, first of all, you'll get your rude awakening this week, right? And then we'll see how cocky you are next week, right?
Hang on.
Wait. I want to just say something because you've been talking absolute rubbish, right? You said, what did you just say now? That you thought they were going to smash them. Your tip was, I think, under a goal for Collingwood. And then at the end of the show, and if you want, I can put it up and I'll put it all over the social media. You said you wouldn't be surprised if Essendon won. Now, after the event, you've turned around and you've gone, we were going to smash them. I was never worried.
Rocco, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And you know what?
You just said you were going to smash them. And you picked them for under a
That's
goal.
what you said.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Listen,
You picked
Rocco.
them for under a goal.
Listen, Rocco, we need to be here to entertain ourselves.
Don't give me listen. Answer the question.
Marco believed in his heart that we were going to beat us.
Manny, you said under a goal.
Listen, I'm not going to entertain this.
Wait a second.
I'm not going to entertain
We've got proof, though. You've been caught.
You said under a goal.
Okay. So what does that mean? That means nothing.
It means that now you're talking shit when you're after the event. You start saying we were gonna smash them. They never had a chance. You believe they had a chance.
I'm purely stating
you believe they had a chance.
I'm purely stating that Essendon was on the improve, and I thought, you know what, maybe that might be that chance.
No, you didn't say that. You didn't say maybe.
I have to be diplomatic. I have to be diplomatic about it. I have to
That's the question I asked you. Maybe you should answer.
I have to be diplomatic about it.
No, you're not, because you're not diplomatic now.
Well, the aftermath. The aftermath is always different.
The aftermath, because you're a hero and you are like all your Collingwood supporters there. No regrets, all of you. You all chat afterwards.
No, like I said to Mark 5 minutes ago. It will be proven on how well we play in the next 3 weeks. And if we're able
Take it like everyone's saying, Manny, you got caught out. You said a lot of shit last week, and now you're being.
But never
You
good about
can't take
anything.
it.
I didn't say we're going to lose. I didn't say we're going to lose.
You said that you're going to win by under a goal, right? And you wouldn't be surprised if Essendon win. Now you've turned that around and said they would never had a chance.
Listen.
I'm listening. You know, people that go listen. What you're trying to do now is trying to work out what to say next.
The reality is, I wanted to try and give my friend Marco a little bit of belief.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, I did.
You weren't.
Yeah,
no,
I did. Yes, I did. And I stand by it. I stand by it.
I don't care what you stand by. No, you weren't.
I don't care either.
No, you weren't, because I saw the chats. I saw everything. Are you telling Mark, wow, yous are looking good? I wouldn't be surprised if yous win. And now you turn around hero like, shut up, bro. You've really exposed yourself tonight as an absolute.
I think it's sad that you're trying to find entertainment through me because you're not getting entertainment through your team.
I'm stating facts.
You know what I mean? So
I'm stating facts. You say one thing, and then after the thing, what do? You shit yourself. You don't know what to say. Your lips move, but your brain doesn't.
The reality is, I have to be diplomatic. I'm always diplomatic.
Because you're not diplomatic this week.
Well, listen, I'm excited to see that.
Jews went to be diplomatic.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see.
You couldn't even spell the word diplomatic, let alone use it. I'm going to move on, neighbours. I really can't be bothered with you. Anyway, there was another game on there. It was Fremantle 103 to Carlton 89, right? And so this was a bit of an interesting game. We went over there, and you were there. You were there, Jezza.
Yeah.
You saw the game, so. Look, it was an interesting game. People say that Carlton kind of good effort, you know, and it was a little bit of a better effort. I mean, we kind of made it a game for about 3 quarters, but it was the same issue as every week. It was the same issue. 4th quarter, if it wasn't Dacos, if it wasn't Pickett, this time it was Volta. He comes out, first 5 minutes of that 4th quarter, takes the game away, and then couple of junk goals at the end made it to 14 points, but they bullied us. Yeah, was a little bit of a better effort, but still not good enough. Didn't win the game. And that's it. That's all I've got to say. But I've talked enough about this game.
Can I just say, from having watched it, it reminded me a bit of Sydney and West Coast a few weeks ago. I didn't actually think Carlton stayed in the game for a long time, but I don't actually know if Fremantle were going that hard at either. I think they just pretty much kept you at arm's length all night. And then when the game was there to be won, they just put the foot down and you guys just couldn't go with them. So, yeah.
No, I agree. I never
are saving themselves for bigger teams that they know they're going to come against. They will find harder to beat. So I think that with a game like that, they've said, we need to win it. Let's just make sure that we don't go crazy. We don't need to win it by a huge margin. We just need to win this game, get out of it, no injuries, right, like that. So they look like they were playing a little bit safe to me.
I agree. And I just think that, I didn't feel like they were going to win at any stage. You know what I mean? So I just felt like it's coming. I actually turned around and said, we'll end up losing by like 3 or 4 goals, and it ended up being like 14 points because Fremantle kind of put the cue in the rack after they did their 5 or 10 minutes in that 4th quarter, and then it was over. Look, that's where we're at. Fremantle second on the ladder. They're actually playing some good footy.
Rocco, I know you guys speak a lot about the Blue Boys on your other shows there as well, mate. But do you think? I mean, you guys you've been competitive every week, right? Is it something that is it a mental thing that your team, your players just don't believe that they can win? Is it as simple as that? You know what I mean? Like it has to be something that, because it's happening every week, mate. It'd be so frustrating. Like, the Bombers, they get done, they get smashed. You get over it after a while. But being a Carlton supporter, is it a mind? Is it they don't believe that they're going to win the game, mate? Because you're in games every week.
It's funny.
And I don't want you to dwell on it tonight too much because I know you probably speak about it.
I'll quickly go over it because we did speak about it last night a bit too. Because we kind of asked the question, what could it be? How far are we? Like, is it just the coach? You know what I mean? Is it just the leaders? You know what I mean? Because we're not that far behind. So we play 1, 2, 3 good quarters. You know, in most games, we're in a position of winning, right? We're in front. So, you know, like, so then what's the problem? Well, if I knew, you know, like, you know, be coached.
Could it be just because?
But I reckon it is. It has to be. Part of it's got to be mental.
Yeah, it has to be, mate.
It has to be because they don't believe it. As soon as Fremantle or as soon as Collingwood kicked that first goal in that last quarter, I reckon they dropped their heads.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I reckon it's part of that. I still don't believe we've got all the players. Like, I don't think we've still got a great side. I don't think we're there yet. You know what I mean? So some people go, oh, you've got the team. No. But I also think that Voss is a big part of it. I don't think they're playing for the man. I don't think they want to win for the man. I mean, I saw like someone like Wiedering. He does okay, but he looks like he doesn't want to be there now.
Yeah.
Like he just lost it a little bit. And then some of our leaders, and I give it to Cripper, unlike Manny and that who doesn't want to. I give it to my players. And people go, but you're giving it to a dual Brownlow medalist. Yes, he's our captain. And I expect higher standards from him. You know, I expect higher standards from him than I do from Burns. Burns is a 19-year-old. I don't expect so much from him. But from Cripps, from Walsh, from Wiedering, I expect top level,
Leaders.
you know.
Leaders.
And they don't do it sometimes. And in the last quarter, not that we were going to win, I take little things out of the game now, right? So Cripper's running and he misses the goal. You know, I think it was out on the full. You know, Walsh runs in another 5 minutes later, misses the goal. You know, I look at those things and go, wait a sec. You're the leaders, man. You need to kick those goals. I don't care. I don't want to hear excuses. I've seen that too many times. You need to kick. Yeah, Peter's right. Peter's fucking right. You know, I've got to stop bullying. They're going to fucking send me an email telling them I'm bullying them now. So, you know, I expect that. And then the other little thing that gets me, and people might say, but you're looking into things too much. You know, like Cripper in that last quarter kicks a goal with like we're 20 points down with a couple of minutes to go. He kicks a goal like right on the line. You saw that, Jezza. He kicks the goal and then he pumps his fist. Like, what are you pumping, bro? We're second last on the ladder. We've won one game against Richmond, which we should have lost, right? Now we're losing to Fremantle. We're not going to win it, and you pump your fist after a goal? Yeah, like, what are you doing, bro? Yeah. I look at my great leaders who used to lead this club in Kernahan, Bradley, all those. They never, if we were losing, they would never pump their fist after a goal. I'll tell you right now.
Straight to the position. Straight to the position.
Back to their positions, and that's a leader. And so I get disappointed at things like that. Yeah. Like, what are you getting excited about, man? Like, don't get me wrong. I think that Cripper and Walsh, they give their heart out and they try to win the game and they want to and all that, you know. But it's those little things about being great leaders and just being a leader. I don't think we got him. I don't think we got him from the president. I gave it to the president. For him not coming out and not fucking making a statement after that, like live, is a disgrace, showing me that what kind of person you are, right? The captain not coming out making a statement. That shows me what kind of people you are, right? In that moment, not taking those moments, pumping your fist shows me that you're not the leaders that we need. Who are the leaders at Carlton? I'll tell you what, I don't know anymore. We were having this discussion yesterday and we can't pick who's going to be our next captain. And that's sad. You know what I mean? I can't see it. People go Walsh and Wiedering. I'm thinking, are they really the people to take this team to the next level? I don't know, man. I don't know. And we kind of decided that it might be Newman, I think, is our best captain, choice of captain. He's the only one. Nick Newman. I called him Chris Newman last night, but Nick Newman, no, he should be.
Chris Newman's our captain.
Eh?
But he was our captain, Chris Newman.
Yeah, he was your captain. That's why I said. But look, and he is, man. Like people go, look, he's still a champion. Don't get me wrong. He's done great things. Don't get me wrong. But because what he's done, it doesn't mean now, like it doesn't mean that no one can say anything about him. Like if you say something about Cribs, you can't say, what has he done for the club? Yes, he has. He's probably carried the fig, but is he the right person at the moment? No, I expect you to kick that goal. I expect you not to pump your fist when we're fucking 20 points down and about to lose the game. Like, what does that goal mean? What does that goal mean? That goal at the end, what does that mean?
Sounds like a bit of an individual type kind of response.
Well, not only individual, but to me, it has to be individual, but also has to be a club mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How important is winning? You know what I mean? Does it all mean have they just given up? You know what I mean? Like again, standards from the president. I believe Graham Wright has made some serious mistakes. Is he really the leader? Am I being too hard on these people? Am I? I don't know. Am I being too hard after 31 years of no success? Am I being too hard after another year that's already wasted?
It's fair to say, Rocco, you're frustrated and you have every right to be frustrated.
I'm just asking questions of these people. Are they the leaders that we need?
One of my colleagues who's a Carlton supporter, and he said to me today when at work that he said, I grew up and I'm spoilt, Manny. He goes, I'm spoilt because I grew up where the Carlton Football Club was a superior club. It was a club that achieved so much. He goes, I grew up in an era where I was spoilt. And now for the last 20 years, he goes, I feel like we've been completely neglected. He goes, it's sad to see that even though we've gone through what we've gone through, we still have that hope. We're living still in that hope, that maybe something's going to come. And he goes, and I'm glad we still have that hope. But sometimes he goes, you become disheartened. And that's what you are at the moment. You feel disheartened because you think something's got to give and something has to give. You know what I mean? Something has to give.
I'm sick of, I say that I've seen premierships. I've been to grand finals, personally that we've won, so I've done all that, but I'm sick of that. Like it means nothing to me anymore. And then I look at my kids and I look at like my son-in-law and all that. They've seen nothing. They've seen zero. They just know Carlton as a failure. You know what I mean? And I look at my team and like I was saying this last night, like, I don't know why you got me started on this, but you saw me last night where I said, like, I can't believe the Carlton Football Club, the mighty Carlton Football Club, we've got all the resources. We've got everything you need to build the perfect side. We've got the resources. We've got the knowledge. We've got the people who want to put money into it. We've got everything, and we keep fucking it up. Like, we're not like a St Kilda or a North Melbourne who haven't got those resources, that are always struggling for support, always struggling for money, for, we've got the best of everything. We've even got our own imaging centre. Who the fuck has an imaging centre in there? We've got everything you could ask for, and we keep fucking it up. Like, that's like you, Mark. I'm going to give you all the best tools, and you're going to make the worst fucking blinds. How? I've given you all the right tools, bro. I've taught you, and you're still fucking it up. Like, so then the question goes like, why?
Greed.
Why?
Greed. Maybe greed.
Because all they think about is money. Like, I don't know. Jezza, what do you reckon? I'm going to, like, you're my age.
Again, like Manny said, I'm probably old enough to remember Carlton when they were good, back, when you had Craig Bradley and Kernahan and Greg Williams and all these players playing for you. Yeah, that fine that you guys copped or draft picks, whatever it was, when you were Roth and the salary cap and stuff. And I remember back at the time, I think it was just after John Elliott had left as your president, and he was an imposing character himself. And he came out and pretty much said, if I was the president, none of that shit would have happened. That wouldn't have happened on my watch. So perhaps and I know you say it heaps of time, maybe they got the wrong leadership people in there. Maybe they're business people rather than football people. Yeah. So to be honest with you, if the team is not performing on the field and not winning, that's all us as fans really care about.
That's all we care.
Win. We can handle losses. We can handle beltings. We can handle continuous losses or continuous missing out in finals and stuff like that. So all we want as fans, we want someone who's going to make that happen. So you pick the right coaches, right training people, the right strength and conditioning people, and all that sort of stuff. I mean, there's so much more that they have now than they didn't have before. So it's hard to watch a club like Carlton, because I know quite a few Carlton supporters, and they are passionate supporters, and they are so upset at the moment the way the team is going. They're like, like I said, that game the other night, I could remember going and watch Carlton playing Eagles and stuff like that, and I reckon probably 10,000 people in the crowd would have been Carlton supporters. And they were drowning us Eagles supporters out, man, if you guys were winning. So that's gone. That's gone. Like, there was nothing the other night. I mean, there's probably less of them there now, but they're not. The team's not exciting the fans at the moment. They can't see anything that's like, oh, is this good? Is this a good young kid? Are we going anywhere here? I mean, like you said, that mental game that Mark was talking about before, you can see it when they come out after halftime. You can see them as soon as a team kicks 1 or 2 goals against them, they're panicking. They're playing panic football.
They drop their head, don't they?
Here it goes again. You know, they're in win positions, but they're not able to keep it going. So there's something wrong somewhere in the lead up to the games. Now, I'm sure they're going to win the game at some stage, and they might get over. But it's been an ongoing thing for a long time. It's been very obvious for the last probably year and a half of
it's more than,
where they've got the position in games and they can't do it. Teams know that we're going to get them. Like the other week when they played Collingwood, when they were up leading into that last quarter, you thought, man, this is going to happen again, because you've got the worst finishing team playing against the best finishing team. Now, I thought, if you can get over the line here, that might just give you that little boost to say, you know what, we can do it. We can do it. We can win games. But at the moment, that's not happening. It's not happening. You know?
I agree. And it's been happening for a long time. And as I said, those moments there that we can take control of the game, we don't. We haven't done it all year. It's happened longer than that. People don't realise. Even when we were winning, right, in 23, 24, when we were winning, right, we were up by 50, 60 points. And then by the end of it, we would just win the game. We were winning them instead of losing them. But it shows that we were having the same problems. All year, this year, we've allowed teams to kick 5, 6, 7 goals in a row. Every single game. If you look back at every game, it happened this week again. I think they kicked 6 goals from the third quarter to the fourth quarter. They kick like 6 goals in a row to finish it off. So it happens every week. So then my question is, where are the leaders on the ground to stop this? Like, why can't we stop it? You know what I mean? I expect, you look at like someone like, for example, Collingwood, you got Dacos, you got Pendlebury, you got those sort of players who control the game. You got someone like the Doggies, they got like Bonds. You know, he takes control. You watch him last week, right? They lost the game, but Bonds killed himself trying to pull that team back up. You know what I mean? And then at the end of the game, he got everyone back together. And if I could read lips, he was saying, man, you know what I mean? Put your heads up, but that wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? Like, he was saying that, you know, and we haven't got that. Everyone goes, oh, you can't talk about Cribs, but I expect you to lead this fucking side. You know what I mean? I expect you to lead it, not just be the brute force in there. I expect more than that. You know what I mean? Walsh isn't that person that I thought was going to, he's not that Butters or that Dacos who's going to take control of the game and win it for us. Yeah, he gets his 25, 30 possessions. He looks okay. But he's become a bit of a, he's all right. You know, we don't need that, you know. So, listen, man, we could go all day, man. But, yeah, it's disappointing. And what, Mark, I think a lot of it's mental. And I think I'm going to leave it on this. I think the first thing we need to do is we have to get rid of Voss. Because if we don't get rid of Voss, we can't move forward. We cannot move forward. I'm sorry to say, we will not move forward without. And he's the first step. And then from there, you know, and then we'll, you know, I don't know, assistance again, you know, maybe start rebuilding a new game plan and do that. But I think we have to get rid of Voss. There you go.
Do you think there's anyone in the club that could take on, like, if, say, they decided before the end of the year that we're going to move him on, who would you think would jump in and caretake it? Is there
Obviously,
anyone
like
in the assistant coaches, or like, I mean, now you got Ashley Hansen, I think a former Eagles player there, who I think might have went for the job, or certainly went for some of the vacancies over the last few years. And that is he the next best thing, or do they need like a complete clean out?
Well, you know, at the end of the day, like, it's only going to be an interim coach. So, you know, it's going to be like a Hansen or maybe even a Josh Fraser who's come back to the club, you know. So someone like that to take over is either, you know, like the person who's going to take us into the future. I don't know. I really don't know. There's got to be someone out there. There's got to be an assistant, someone who can take this group of players beyond now. I don't know who it's going to be. But there's plenty out there. You know what I mean? When people go, oh, there's no one out there, bullshit. You know, where was McRae? Where was, you know, all of them that have won like premierships? Where were they before they become premiership? You know, they were just assistants, you know. So, you know, so we have to start with that. Let's get the process right. Let's make sure we get the right person, not just for today. We need a coach that looks into the future. You know, look at Melbourne. You know, like, I don't know where Melbourne's going to finish this year, but they've turned around pretty quick. They look all right, a decent side. And they lost Petrarca. They lost the other Ranga there. Yep. Oliver. And they sacked their coach after a win. After a win, they sacked him. You know what I mean? So what are we doing? Like, I know that they won't sack him now, because if they sack him in round 6, it kind of takes all the wind out of the supporters and everything, where there's always hope until round 10 or 12, you know. But to me, you're just buying time here. I don't know what we're doing. And these close wins are actually doing us more harm than good. You know, they're kind of
one more question, Rocco. What's the chat amongst former players? Are any of the former players coming out and discussing where they think the team's at the moment? Because I know last year a lot of the Eagles premiership players were very, very vocal about where they felt the team was at. Particularly in Simpsons last year, so say 2 years ago. And they don't normally come out, but a lot of them were on radio and on media and stuff like that, commenting, saying they are not happy that the Eagles are in the situation that they're in. It's not good enough. Is there anything happening like that with the ex-Carlton players?
Yeah, before that, Enzo Valentino reckons Carlton wants to sack Voss after a win too, so Voss can stay for another 3 years then. So I can't see
Enzo tonight. He's on fire.
We're never going to sack him there. Yeah, look, I speak to a few players, and plus there's a few on social media and all that. You know what I mean? So it's careful what they say and that. But I think there's two trains of thought. I think a lot of them they think that Voss is a great person and was a great player and a great leader and all of that. I don't think they think he's the right person for the job, because he's proved it after 5 years. But they also turn around, because they're ex-players, and say not enough is being put on the players. Like, not enough is being put on the players. You know what I mean? So,
Rocco, you said that the players are not playing for Voss.
Doesn't look like it.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question. Who cares if the players are playing for Voss?
Well, you got to play for your leader.
Hang on. No, you got to play, right? You got to play for the Roccos, who goes every fucking week to the ground. Now, listen to me. You got to play for every single poor blow Joe that's out there who's working hard, right? Who saves his pennies to get a membership, to go and watch their team, their beloved team. That's who they should be playing for. They should be thinking about that. They shouldn't be thinking about.
You're wrong.
No, I'm not. I'm not wrong. No, I'm not.
You are.
And I could tell you that there's been a lot of brilliant coaches in the EPL, all right, who have turned around and said to their players, "You don't play for me, but you play for," because tomorrow it's like anything. I might be here right now, but tomorrow I'm going to leave as a coach. I'll go somewhere else, yeah? Or I might decide I want to coach anymore. But at the end of the day, that supporter, that Rocco, who gets up every morning and he thinks about how my team's going to go this week, that's what they should be thinking about. They should be thinking about their players. Yeah, they're about their fans. That's what they should be thinking about. Boss might be a dickhead. You might get another coach that might be a dickhead. But it's about going out there and giving your best for your supporters.
All right.
Now, whether you agree with me or not, the
that.
reality is that's how it is.
I know that's the fairy tale like answer, right? That we're gonna play for the little Rocco in Reservoir, you know. That's bullshit, right? It doesn't work like that, Manny. I don't know how many sports you've played. When you're on that field, there's only two people you play for, right?
Yeah.
You play for your mates and you play
Really?
for the coach. That's all you do. You don't think about Manny or fucking Jezza back in West Coast. You're not thinking about them, right?
Well,
And I'll listen.
and that's where you're going wrong. And that's where you're going wrong as a team.
No, because not even the Collingwood, no one plays for the fans, you fucking. You play for your teammates. That's what a coach does. A coach unites the team, right? And then you play for the bloke.
It all depends on how you see it, Rocco. It
Oh
all
my
depends. It
God.
all depends on how you see it, Rocco.
No, it's not how you see it. It's not how you see it because maybe
No,
you've never.
that's the way you see it, Rocco.
You
And that's
never
the problem.
play. You never. Oh, for fuck's sakes, bro.
No,
You
Rocco,
can't just-
you know what? Yeah, but you're entitled to say what you're saying, but when you don't fucking make sense, pull your fucking head in and say, you know what?
What do you mean not making sense? You never.
I'm telling you,
I guarantee one
that
player.
you should be thinking about that poor bloke, that poor family, that
Who
bloke.
the fuck thinks about the poor bloke in the fucking stands? Are you serious? You're
that's
about
where
to
you
go
guys are
into a
fucking going wrong.
contest. You're about to go into a contest, and you're thinking about Rocco. Is something wrong with your fucking brain?
Well,
Listen to me. Shut the fuck up
this
for a
is where you
second.
go wrong.
Listen to me, and I'll give you a
that's where you're
perfect.
complaining.
I'll give you a perfect
Why are you complaining?
scenario. Right? Shut up. I'll give you a perfect scenario.
Why are you complaining
You're full
then?
of shit. You're wrong.
Yeah,
I'll give
you're
you a
full of
perfect scenario, mate.
Yeah,
And
yeah, go
this
on.
works out perfect for Anzac Day, right? I
Yeah,
always
yeah.
remember this. It was years ago. They went up to a digger, right?
Yeah,
They went up to a digger at Anzac Day, and they
Yeah.
said to him, "What's it like, you know, when you were out there, you fought for the flag?" And he goes, "I never fought for the flag." And they go, "What do you mean? Who'd you fight for?" And he goes, "The bloke standing next to me."
You're comparing war to a footy game.
No, I'm not comparing war to, so don't put fucking words in my
You're
mouth.
comparing
I'm telling you.
survival to a footy game.
Sure, for fuck's sakes, you fucking shit me, man. You absolutely shit me. Shut the fuck up, bro. Shut the fuck up. Listen to me. Do not put words in my mouth about comparing war. I gave you a scenario, right? I'm saying when you're in battle, you're not fighting for the supporter. That might be the end when you're in the rooms. Yeah, we did it. Well done. You know what I mean? You got to fight for the team, for your bloke next to you. That's who you fight for. When you're going in, you're protecting him. You're protecting the team. And who brings that together? The coach. So if you're not doing it for your team and you're not doing it for the coach, right? You're not doing it. That's it. You're done. You're not doing it for Liam. I don't know one player that thought I'm doing it for Liam. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? Like, it's the most ridiculous thing I've heard that you think you're doing it.
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you. I'll agree to disagree. But what I'm saying is,
you're absolutely wrong. You're not doing it for the supporters.
That 10 minutes ago, you turned around and said, I've seen grand finals. I've seen this. I've seen that. Yeah. But you're thinking about the fact your son-in-law. So what I'm saying is
that's me.
But
that's
what
me.
I'm saying is,
as a supporter, not a player.
You're one of many, Rocco. So you know that's what I'm saying is sometimes you got to sit there and you got to say to yourself, you know what the fuck are we doing as a club? Yeah, what are we doing as a club? Do you understand that there are people who love the club so much, the passion behind the club? There are people that can hardly afford to put food on the table, but yet they'll go buy their fucking membership because they love the club.
I'm going to ask everyone this, right? Do you seriously think that the player who's going into battle in a contest, and how dare you, Manny, because I'll take you off the show forever if you try to put words in my mouth and tell me that I'm comparing sport to fucking war. All right? Because I just gave you a scenario. So don't you ever do that to me, first of all, right? Not online, right? Second of all, I'm going to ask everyone, Mark, do you believe and tell me if I'm wrong in the chat too. Do you believe a player on grand final day, play on any game, thinks about the supporter as he's in battle?
Yeah, I'm going to go with you, Rocco, mate, on this one here. Yeah, they play for each other. You know, they play for each other. I know where you're coming from, Manny. Don't get me wrong. I know that.
I think Rocco is taking it completely out of context. And Rocco is taken out of context because that's the way
I'm
it suits
asking
him.
everyone. So
But what I'm
asking
saying is that this is how it happens.
The players spend so much time with the players. The players spend so much time with each other, mate.
You got to believe what you want to believe. What I'm saying is that at the moment,
let the people talk, Manny.
a good leader should sit there and say, listen, you know what? You're playing for your mates, but you're not doing good enough to play for your mates. Yeah? Go out there and do it for the supporters. That's what I'm saying.
Does that on the ground, Manny? You're full of shit. Go. Liam, what do you
so and just quickly,
and I'll prove it to you.
Just quickly, Manny, it's not Blow, it's Joe Blow. Sorry, mate.
Right. Joe Blow. Yeah. Whatever.
This is getting a bit intense, isn't it?
Play for each other. Our job is to follow and support them. They're not playing for you, Liam.
Yeah, look, I think it's internal. At the end of the day, we forget that this is their job, this is their livelihood, and it's all about creating their own legacy and their legacy inside the four walls, inside the club. Yeah, look, they probably do have a little bit of sympathy towards playing for the fans. That's something that you could use, but I would say, it's probably more playing for the people within your club.
On the ground, you reckon you think they're thinking of supporters on the ground?
Not as high as they are for their own team and for themselves and for their own legacy.
You've taken it the wrong way. You don't want me to put words in your mouth, but yet you've taken it the wrong way.
You're the one that said it. You got to play for the supporter.
What I'm saying is, the moment you see that you're not playing for the coach, right? The players you're saying are playing for themselves, but they're not getting the job done. At least, you know what? That's not working. At least go out there and try and put a smile on those supporters.
So you think that after these players are killing themselves and trying to win games and that, none of that's working. So now you think that saying, let's play for Rocco is going to now motivate this player to do what he has to do.
Maybe that might be something that will happen, Rocco. I don't know what to say to you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're looking at us.
Has anyone ever played for the supporters on the ground?
Well, I don't know. Obviously, you've been playing the wrong sports, so you don't know.
What are your thoughts, mate? What are your thoughts?
No, guys, you only have to look at a player, and we've had plenty from the West Coast Eagles come out over the last few years and say, we let the club down, we let our teammates down, we let our coach down, and we probably let the fans down as well. The fans are the last thing you're thinking about. It is all about the team. The team is the team is the bunch of guys that run out on the ground together. You want to be able to support them, and you want them to help you to win the game. That's what it's about. The supporters, mate, will rock up regardless of what your team is doing, because that's what we are. We're supporters. I've splashed out over $700 a year for the last 4 years for the Eagles to watch them win 6 games or something, because I want to go and support the team. I don't think, geez, I can't believe you guys aren't winning for me. I just can't believe that they're not winning as a team. I don't think it's in their mind at all. If a player come out, Manny, after a really, really bad loss and said, oh, look, we're really disappointed, we've let the fans down again, and they come out the next week, get belted, and they said the same thing, do you really, well, that would make you feel better about the losses? Because if the Eagles were coming out and saying that to me, I'd be like, yeah, good on you, buddy, but it's not me you're letting down. It's the 18 blokes that you're out on the ground with. They're the ones you're letting down. It's your teammates that you're training with every week, doing the weight sessions, doing the running, doing all the rehab, all that sort of stuff. They're really the ones. And like I just said before, previous players have come out and said, hey, this team is not the team it should be. They are not supporting the team colors the way they should be. The team, not the supporters, because the supporters will rock up all the time. We'll buy our merchandise. We'll go and watch the games and stuff like that. It's all about the team. Everything is the team. And the team is the players who run out there week in, week out, and represent the club. Everything else feeds down from there. Everything. That's how I see it.
And that's
Just
that's
one
the way
point on that.
Yep.
Just one thing that I just thought about it also is you think after the game, when they go back the next day or at the start of the week on the Monday and review it, it's all internal. It's all done internally. They don't have to face up to me as a fan, be like, hey, look, we know you went to the game. We're sorry we didn't perform. Like, it's like, yeah, right, that's cool. You didn't win, but I don't care. I'll get over it. They've got to look at each other. They've got to look at their coaches and all the people that have been helping them and preparing them and all the work in the preseason and whatever. They're the ones that they got to face up to, because they're the ones that are really putting in the effort. As much as we want to see it and we support them and we enjoy the wins, we don't enjoy the losses. You're doing it for the players who are going through the same stuff as you, and you're
100%.
connected by that, and that's more important.
And that's what I think, and that's what I was trying to explain. Like, I know the supporters are there, and at the end, they always do the media stuff, you know, like the supporters, that they don't care. Like, they don't give a shit. Like, if they cared, they wouldn't leave the side. They wouldn't leave the team like players do, you know. So at the end of the day, when you're in battle, the last mate, they don't even hear the crowd. That's how focused they are on a game. I've heard players say they go out there 100,000 people and they don't hear the crowd. They can't hear the crowd.
I'm not saying. What I'm saying is that the moment you can see that the players aren't, you know, they're not winning games. They're not, you know, they're not working together as a team, or they're not playing for the coach. At least if you're not doing this, you're not doing that. At least go out there and try and do it for the supporters, is what I'm saying. At least give it 100% for those supporters. That's what I'm saying.
But if you can't do it for yourself, and you can't do it for the bloke you're fighting, like the battle with,
yeah,
why would you do it for the supporter maybe
that might be something that might inspire them, might give them that sort of thing. Just think to themselves, you know what? Maybe that's what we've got to fucking do. Maybe we've got to do out there for those fans. Because you remember a couple of years ago when you guys were losing it in a very bad, you know, there was a part when you guys were getting done, and your supporters were getting so emotional and so passionate, and they were becoming angry, and they were throwing the scarves at the players. And this is what I'm trying to say to you, that the fans, the supporters, they're angry, and they want at least to say, you know what, at least go out there and do it for the fucking team, but do it also for the supporters. That's what I'm trying to get at.
I reckon
I know what they're doing. I know what they're doing, but what they should be thinking about is the fact, you know what, all right, we're doing it for each other, but we're not doing it. We're not doing it for the coach.
With you, man. I don't think there's been a player in the history of sport that does it for the fan. They do it for themselves. The fans take the rewards at the end and they support the team, but they do it for the bloke next to. You're doing it for your team. That's who you play with. You play with a bunch of guys. When they go into a when they're giving a hip and shoulder, and when they're doing that for their mate and for the team, it's got nothing to do. And the person who brings that all together is the coach. So when I say you're playing for the coach brings the team together. And if you're not now fighting every inch for that coach or for that play, you know, I've heard. I'll give you an example, right? I'm good friends with Ange Christou, right? You know what he used to say to me? He used to go to me that when I used to run out there, he ran out with people like Sticks Kernahan, Peter Dean, Silvani, you know, and especially the back line he played in. You know what he used to say? I didn't want to disappoint my teammates. That's what he said. I didn't want to disappoint my teammate. I did not. I actually used to say, and he says this to me every time because I mentioned Kernahan to him, and he still calls him sir. That's how much respect he has for him, right? When he comes in there, he still calls him sir, right? He shows him complete respect. He says that I didn't want to let my teammates down. Not once has he ever mentioned about the fans. He just didn't want to let
I
down
understand that, Rocco. I agree with you 1,000%. But what I'm saying is that, you know, you're talking. I'm trying to get to the point that the moment you see that the club is struggling, and they're not getting the fucking wins for the coach, not getting the wins for their mates that they're playing. You've got to give them something to inspire them to say, you know what, let's go out there and do it for the fucking supporters, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Never worked.
Manny. Sorry, guys, can I ask you a question? Manny.
Yeah.
If Collingwood was to get belted by 100 points by a team, and they came out afterwards and the captain said, well, we've done the best we could, we were doing it for the supporters, would you be happy with that?
Look, it's hard to say.
You wouldn't be Manny.
Look, it's hard
because you'd be like, I don't give a shit. You lost. Now I've got to go to work and listen to all the opposition team that beaten us and cop it all week. Listen to them.
Yeah. But if it's happening continuously,
it's not the same thing. Supporting your team is wonderful, but playing for your coach and playing for your supporters is a completely different thing. Look, the team needs the supporters so they can afford to keep the clubs running and stuff.
I understand that, and I understand that, but when you see that a club is struggling continuously for so long, right?
Yeah, but you said struggling with wins and losses.
Well, I mean, look at the way the Bombers are at the moment. 20 years on, and they're still none better than what they were 20 years ago. I mean, Carlton has been up and down type of thing. So
that's got to do with his argument. Like, I don't get it. Like, Sir Simos is right. Essendon won the 2000 flag for Mark and Gino. Like it doesn't even make sense, Like, listen, man.
I think it's a bit of wishful. I think it's a bit of wishful thinking, Manny. I think
listen. At the end of the day, the fans are. Don't get me wrong. The fans are important. Of course, we're important because we make one big team. I understand that. When it comes to the battle, right? It's about your teammate standing next to you. Can you look your teammate in the eye and say that I gave it 100%? And that's all it's about. Anyway, this is going on way too long. We're going to move on to the next games. And Manny was wrong. All right, let's go. Let's move on to. This is. You know what? We're going to go straight into this one here because I think this is the game of the week. Eagles versus the Tigers. I love this, man. I'm just going to sit back, eat my chips, and listen to, because I think you both have got a case, and I think you both think you can win this game. Is that Optus? You'll be there, won't you, Jez? 100%.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'll be there for sure.
And you're going to want to punish this lowly Richmond side who are sitting at the bottom of the ladder, no wins, 54%, whatever it is. So, and Liam, you're gonna want to crack that first win, and to beat your dad would feel nothing better. And you're definitely doing it just so you can have it over your dad. I can just feel it. So, guys, go for it.
You want to go first, boy?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, look, like you've said, game it around. Absolutely. It's a battle of who's worse. Just on the percentage though, there, Rocco, I have got it up here. Yeah, we're at 54.2%, while West Coast do have 2 wins. They're at 55.8. Since they had their 2 wins, they've been smashed by 100 points twice in the last month. They're not traveling well. We played them twice last year. We beat them twice last year. I think if we're going to do anything this season, we have to win. Otherwise, if we don't win, it could be a win this season. It really could. I don't know where else we're going to get the chance. I think we're improving a bit. Like I said, I thought last week against Melbourne wasn't our worst game. I think there were some signs of improvement. It's just more carrying that onto this week. Couple changes that I'd make. Like I said, we got to get Samson Ryan out of the ruck. We got to bring Ollie Hayes-Brown in. We actually got to play Sam Lawler in the midfield because he's a gun and that's where he belongs. Someone like Tim Taranto is going to be back in this week. That's a huge in. That helps out. Look, yeah, I just think if we want to get anything out of this season, we need to get a win here. This is our biggest chance. I know I said about West Coast percentage and their recent form. It doesn't matter. I said the biggest problem, I think I said it a couple of weeks ago, was it's these teams around the same level, and we've sort of stayed here, and they're kind of sort of getting better. If we need to show something, we just need to win. That's all.
Yeah, before you go, Jezza, just quickly, I agree with one point you made, and that's how I feel. Like, you want to be winning against the teams that are around you. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, you know where you're at, and you want to be winning. So this is a game that, like Richmond and West Coast, I think both think they can win it, you know? So you should be at least having a good performance, but you'd want to win this game. Jezza?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I'm a little bit worried about this game because I remember when I came on last year, I talked up our chances of winning this game big time. And then Richmond came out after halftime and absolutely spanked. It's one of the worst defeats I've ever seen. I think we're both at very similar stages. The problems we're having in our games at the moment is our turnovers are absolutely crushing us. We're getting scored against so easy when we turn over the ball, and we turn over the ball in really bad parts of the ground. Sometimes it's the forward line. Our disposal efficiency is disgraceful. Like, we can't hit a target with a handball or a kick or stuff like that. And once we turn the ball over from something like that, it's just going up the other end, and we're getting goals scored against us really, really poorly. Our defense is a big issue. We've really only got one defender down there that's been really good all year, and that's Gibney, but he's undersized for the bigger guys. I think if Lynch is back in this week, that could be a problem because he's one of those tall marking forwards that the Eagles have had problems with for a few years. Similar to Richmond, this is a game that we need to win. Again, if we're going to be in that bottom half of the ladder, which we are going to be again this year, that bottom six, this is a team that we should be looking at and thinking, we have to win this game on our home ground. We just have to. Last week's after halftime was so disappointing. We just pretty much put the white flag up and said, you know what, it's all too hard. Can't be bothered. Just can't do it anymore. Don't want to do it. A lot of the players were down last week, and it just showed after halftime. They were just, I just don't want to put in anymore. So we can't have that. So it's a big celebration for the club on Saturday night as well. They're celebrating the 20th anniversary of the 2006 grand final, and it's the 40th anniversary of the first ever Eagles Richmond AFL game. By the way, won. So there'll be a few things hopefully happening at the ground. Of course, the West Coast Eagles and their fantastic merchandise team have done nothing about it, because I haven't seen anything on their social media to say they're doing anything big for the game. So hopefully they get that right. As far as the game, I think the Eagles can win it because I think our form has been okay. So, and the home ground, well, I'm going to say the same as they did last year. I think it'll be a very close game. I reckon maybe the Eagles by 15 points, but I don't think it'll be much more. It's not going to be a blowout by either team this year, I don't think.
How can you say your form's okay?
No, I said it's okay for half a game. No, well,
you had 2 wins early in the season, but your form's not been okay since. I've got it here. You lost by 128, 46, 56, and 101.
Yeah, but they were a good team. They were really good teams.
But that's not good.
Sydney one was
St Kilda's a good team.
No, so that's what I said. The St Kilda one was the hardest loss for me to take. I thought, the Saints have got $3.5 million running around and 2 players out there, so they must be good for something.
Good for
must be a great team. Ross is a great coach and stuff. Now the Saints game on the weekend was very, very disappointing. The Swans game was really bad. We just were absolutely out of our league there, completely out of our league. The other losses, we thought we were better than that. We thought we wouldn't be getting belted by those margins again, but we are, because like I said, our defense is crap. We just have no defense. So either we've got to pull someone out of the waffle. They've had a couple of wins. They've had 3 wins in a row on the waffle. So they have to have a look at we need some tall players down the back. We're not at a position where we can pull Job Shanahan out of the middle or the forward line to go down and help out down the back. We're not at that stage. So we need either he stays down the back line as a tall defender, or we bring someone out of the waffle that's going to be our tall defender. Williams, I think, is weeks away. Sarcevic is still about 4 or 5 weeks away. So players that we've brought in to try and help us in those areas, we just haven't got them on the ground this year. Obviously, Dev Robinson being out for the rest of the year is not helping us in the midfield. So we're not getting the service we thought. We have improved, I think, with Williams in the team rather than Flynn. You know, I'm not a big fan of Matty Flynn. I think Bailey Williams should be in the team all the time. He's a lot better around the ground. The new ruck rule suits him. He's not a big jumping ruck, but he's big enough to slow down the opposition ruckmans when he's jumping into it. So I think we'll be all right this week. We'll be all right.
No, I think the point that you made about turnovers is the best. I think both our teams are going to give up opportunities to score. It's just going to be which team can actually capitalize on it. Because we've got, I think you guys are last and we're second last for points conceded. And then you guys are second last and we're last for points scored. So it kind of shows we're going to give up a score. It's just more, can we actually capitalize on the score? So I think that's what it's going to come down to. Maybe it turns into a high scoring game because we're both crap and turn it over all day. I don't know. Or maybe it's just going to be a hard watch and it's a low scoring game. I don't know. But I think, yeah, you're right with that. It's just going to be the turnovers. If we can capitalize on your mistakes, that'll be the difference. Because that's what we've struggled with this year. Our pressure game's been all right. We just haven't put the score on the board. And I'm worried if we don't take that opportunity this week, we won't take it ever.
Yeah, it's going to be
I think
interesting.
There's probably a bit more pressure on you guys having not won a game. At least we've won a couple, but I think there's pressure also on the Eagles because the expectations was that we had improved, even though we only won those 2 games. It was that we had improved, and then it was quickly shown that we hadn't improved. So,
it's the same as what we said with Mark with Essendon.
Yeah,
like they had their win and then they got dropped back down.
Yeah, we're back to reality. We took a step backwards. The Sydney one we could accept because they are a fantastic team and they're looking really, really hot at the moment. The other losses, the margins weren't great. I thought we were okay against Geelong the following week in Adelaide, but that one on the weekend was a real sort of we shouldn't be losing by that much to that team. They are not that much better. They didn't even have their best forward in as well. I could if Max King had been playing, I would have been fearful as to what the scoreline could have been. So,
yeah,
interesting. It's going to be an interesting game. I'm actually looking forward to this.
Me too.
Interesting, yeah.
I am. Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
We are. Come on, bragging rights on the line, mate.
That's what it's all about at the moment. Now,
You two boys going to have a bit of a bet on for the game, or?
We generally have the standard bet. It's a lunch, so.
Okay.
Yeah. So
nice.
we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
I like it. All
you
right.
know what I like to eat, so you can sort that out.
And anything, mate. You like food?
Just not chilies.
No, not chilies. No.
Not the hot food.
No, well, Mark's will eat chili tonight. Before we move on to the next game, Jezza, check out this midfield. Judd, Cousins, Kerr, Cox in the midfield. How good was that? Like, how excited did you used to get when you saw this midfield running around? I've always said this could have been far out the best midfield ever.
Yeah. And don't forget, we also had Fletcher and Braun that could run through there as well.
You had plenty of others.
It was a gun, and it started with Cox. He sort of changed the game a bit as far as ruckman. Like that mobility that he had as a big man was unbelievable. So when you went out, you knew if we won the ball out of the centre and we got the ball down to the forward line, there was a 60% chance every time we went down.
Wasn't it Matura? Was that the Matura brothers, I think, from memory?
That was back in the early 90s when Peter Matura was playing in 92 and 94 grand final. When he won the normal split with 5 goals off the wing, which was a fair effort.
Yes.
But yeah, no, that was a really good midfield, and we don't really have anyone. I mean, potentially Harley and Jeruzma and all of these guys coming through could be that kind of player again, but we're a long way off it at the moment. We don't have anyone with that kind of skill level right now.
Well, that's like when if I talk about 95, I mean, we had Justin Madden. I thought it was an underrated thing, and then in there you had Bradley, Radden, Williams. Yeah, you'd rarely lose the ball from the middle. You'd rarely lose the ball from the middle. And yeah, I still think that your midfield was probably mate. Every single one of those players were just fantastic. But anyway, now you're shit. So that's the way it is. It's like us now. We're shit. All right, let's get in. I'm sure.
Yeah. West
I'm
Coast
sure
are about 3 of the teams here.
Hey,
You're
What's that?
about 3 of the teams here.
That's true, man.
Yeah, no, you're shit too.
3 of us.
Everyone's shit. And this team's going to be shit this week too, because I reckon Hawks are going to absolutely smack them because they've left out a few players and yeah, I don't think they've got a chance to win. And is Moore back? I don't know why. Is Moore back? I don't know why Bocek's put Moore in there, but
yeah,
Moore's back.
oh, there you go. So well done, Bo. Well done, Bo. I was about to bag you, but well done. So you guys are playing Thursday night, isn't it?
We're playing tomorrow. We're playing tomorrow, Rocco. Look, it's going to be a tough game. It's fair to say Hawthorn, the last 3-4 years they've slowly developed and now they've got themselves a team that's playing some really, really good football. They're playing quick football. They're an entertaining, they're an exciting side to watch. Yeah. And it reminds me a bit of Collingwood going back in 22-23. So but they got some really, really good talent in there. But having said that, footy can be a funny game. The ball can bounce in many ways. So maybe this could be one of those games, unpredictable games. I think it's going to be tough for Collingwood, but I'm still going to back them. I think that'd be the right thing to do. I think we're probably just going to if we win this, I think we're going to probably get over the line. Maybe by a couple of goals, but I'm just hoping that it ends up being a competitive game. You got Darcy Moore that's back. Maybe that might change things in the back. I mean, look, he hasn't played for a few games now, so there's no Howe, and we've spoken about Pendlebury. Why isn't Pendlebury playing? And McCreary, that's a real surprise for me because McCreary is he's one of those players you want to have. He could play almost anywhere and everywhere. But look, it's going to be interesting. But I think, like I said, if we're able to beat Hawthorn this week, and that's going to be that's going to be a tough game. And then we've got Geelong the following week, and that's going to be another tough game. So if we get over the line with these next 2 weeks, then I could possibly say that we may be a contender. But right now, I think it's fair to say that we're kidding ourselves. We are kidding ourselves. It's we got teams like Collingwood that are on the down at the moment, and it goes back to what Rocco said a couple of years ago that we've relied on the geriatrics, and the season's a very long season. And once the wet weather kicks in, I mean, we've been very lucky at the moment with Melbourne weather being so good. But I think once the ground gets heavier and the wet weather and, injuries kick in and all that, things can play a huge role. So I think it's going to be a very tough game for the Magpies.
It'll be tough. And are these players out? I don't know if they are or they're not, but I think the teams came out. They are. They're the team. So that's some heavy losses there. And last time you played them, they won by like over 10 goals. Just quite comfortably. So it's going to be tough for you guys. I don't think, I think you're going to get a reality check this week. And just on the Hawks, man, how good is his name now escapes me. The forward there.
The wizard.
No.
Gunston.
Hopefully.
How good is this bloke, man? Like, seriously, man, he's just getting better and better, man. And seriously, like, far out.
How old is he?
Come back last year.
Not bad for a 34-year-old.
34. They should have
been
resting him.
Remember, he came back to Hawthorn, and then they didn't play him at the start, and then he came in, and then he wins their goal kicking, and this year he looks like he could be close to 100 goals if he keeps going, man. Like it's unbelievable how good he is. Yeah, so all right, next game. Oh, this is your game. Essendon versus Lions. This is another thumping. I reckon at least 100 points here. But yeah, you've got you. When are you playing? Oh, this will be on Saturday, won't it?
It's a 12:30 game.
12:30 game at the MCG. I mean, that's the probably only shining light. It's at the MCG, but you know that the Lions can play at the MCG. They've won premierships at the MCG, so they know how to play the MCG.
I think it's Marvel, to be honest.
No, it's at Marvel, mate, because I'm going to the actual.
Oh, it's at Marvel. Sorry, got that wrong.
That's okay. I was a bit concerned then because I'm thinking, shit, I've got tickets to the Marvel game.
It does say MCG. Bo, you make me look like an idiot there. What are you doing, mate? Like, I give you a job to do, like the umpires, and you fuck it up.
It's not a honest mistake, Rocco. Maybe he fears you. Maybe you put pressure on him. You make him nervous. Who knows? You can be very intimidating. Very intimidating.
Maybe he's not up to the job. He's not the leader I thought he was. You know,
that guy's not intimidated, mate. We've had
our little bit of. Bo is first of all, he's a gentleman. He's a great supporter of this channel, and I think you deserve to have him on your side. And sometimes, you know, he's human. Sometimes we all make mistakes. So don't worry about what he's saying, Bo. I'm 100% behind you, mate.
Have you met Bo?
Have I met him?
Yeah.
Of course I've met him.
Where?
Are you serious or what?
At Rippers. At Rippers.
At Rippers.
Yeah, I have. I have.
Nah, when?
We've done the show. We've done the show together.
So you haven't met him, right? You've seen him. Is it? Like,
what do you mean? Have I met him? Have I met him as a face-to-face? We've spoken. We know. We've had chit-chats.
Sometimes it's like I speak another language. I said, if I go to you, have I met someone? You go, no, I haven't actually met him. All right, so you've met him. All right, good.
Anyway, I'll be going to the game. Cut it short, boys. We're getting a little bit beyond the time here, so I'm actually going to this game, and hopefully I'll be
time.
Yeah, I know. So I don't even know why, but to be quite honest, hopefully I don't leave at quarter time. But no, I will not be leaving at quarter time. I'll be there to support my team all the way to the end. Okay, but we could get smashed by 100 points. That would not surprise me this week. Unless we make some changes, and we need to make changes. Drop players, at least 5. Bring in some other players. I think we should just change it up a little bit. Mackay, I think give him a go in the forward line. Just mix it around. So I don't expect too much this week from our boys. But honestly, to be quite honest with you boys, Liam Matthews once said it. We did say it in 2001 against Essendon in the grand final. If it bleeds, we can kill it. So anything can happen in a game of football, like Manny was saying. And I think the Bombers will get up by 5 points this week. For me. For me.
Oh, they're doing it for Mark. They're going to go. I reckon you're going to be on the banner. I reckon they're going to put your picture on the banner, and they're going to say, "Let's go for Mark."
Yep. And Gino might be coming along as
well.
Do
it for the supporters. Do it for the supporters.
Do it for the supporters this week, Bombers. Come on, we're right behind you.
You know what they should do, Marco? They should play the Corton song as the goal song for the players. Every time they get a goal, mate.
That's another story, mate.
Grab up the Corton song.
That's another kind of interesting chat we might have, boys, next week about the songs. I think they're starting to play with other teams as well now. It's starting to do my frigging head in, mate.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, the Corton song, though.
You're right. You know what they should do? They should.
On the banner.
I reckon you should make the Brisbane banner out of your security door, so when they run, they can't run through it.
Knock them out. Concussion rule.
That's the only way you're going to win it.
Well,
that was the joke of the day.
I hope they do compete this week, to be honest. You know, I'm going with the family this week, so don't expect too much. But look, just go out there and compete, boys. Pressure. And anything can happen in a game of football. But looking forward to it, to be honest. want to enjoy one of those hot meat pies as well. So looking forward for the week.
I like it. Next game. Oh, this is like the game of the week, mate. We got the Traders. We've gone over to St Kilda, so we'll be playing up against this one is definitely at Marvel. It's on Saturday night at 7:35. Oh, on Saturday. Oh, is it one game after the other at Marvel, is it?
Yeah, it's stupid. There's
Wow.
2 games at Marble on the same day.
Wow, so they're going to clear it out, and maybe if you hide in the toilets, Mark, you can stay for this
No,
game.
they are. That's what they're offering. They're offering the game earlier. You can actually stay for free and watch the second game.
Really?
Yeah, 100%, man, guaranteed. Just to
That
get
is.
some attendance and
I
stuff.
don't think we're going to get a lot of people, to tell you the truth, and I think that
That's why they're doing it.
they offered us Legend members. You can purchase them, but purchase an extra seat in the Legends. That never happens. But anyway, whatever.
They did mention that, so you can actually watch the game. If you watch the game early, you can stay put and kick back and have some dinner. They were saying there.
How would that work if you're sitting in my seat?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that might work. Maybe there's reserve seating, or there you can't sit in the reserve seating or something. I'm not sure. Maybe just.
All right. Regardless of that, this is going to be. I don't know. It's going to be the same. I don't know. I reckon it's going to be the same. We're going to do the same thing. We'll come out firing. We got it's sad because I feel like Mark. Oh, let's just put up a good effort. That's where we're at now. We're up to putting up a good effort. That's where we're
Do
at.
it for the fans. Do it for the fans.
Yeah, do it for the fans, Manny. Yeah, that should do it. That should get us a grand final. Do it for the fans. I reckon. Yeah, I'll be watching. Definitely be watching Pitternet and TDK, even though Marshall might be the one who takes it away from us. But I'll be watching that. I'm sure Pitternet's going to want to have a good performance against TDK, and also Silvani's going to want to do well against either McGovern or Kemp. I think I don't know. Teams aren't out, but I'm pretty sure they'll bring in. Mackay will be back. He shaved his head. And so Carlton did a post about his shaved head. So you know where Carlton's at. That's what we're posting about one of our players shaving their head. So well done, Mackay. I'm pretty happy for you that you got a fucking shaved head. So hopefully he comes out and does something this week. Yeah, I don't know who else they're going to bring in. Maybe they'll bring in Flynn Young. He's been playing well. Back in the Resi, so Resi's been doing well. They've been winning games, so good for them. But apart from that, I think it's going to be the same. I think St Kilda will take us this week. I can't. I've lost confidence in the team, and I've said this before. Even if we win, it means nothing. It means nothing now. The season is done. It means nothing to me. You win the game, so be it. Am I being a negative supporter? Maybe, but that's how I feel, and that's how they make me feel now. They don't make me feel like there's no real excitement in this game. You know, I'm just going there. Yeah, I want TDK to get smashed. I want Silvani to get smashed. You know, that's my main thing. But apart from that, I don't care. I don't really care. I'm just going to go there. I'll support them. I hope they win. You know, I always support them to win, but it's not going to mean nothing. At the end of the day, for me, it's about, you know, showing something and showing something towards the end of the year. And to me, that we're not going to be there. So this means nothing.
And the Saints normally do pretty well against you guys.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, I think we beat them last year, and then they're always kind of pretty close games. I think there's a bit of juice in this game because of the Silvani and the TDK. But yeah, and that's true. It means nothing unless we win another 12 in a row. So it's just going to mean nothing. But anyway, I'll be there, and I'll be supporting the once mighty Blues.
Whoa.
Yeah. All right. We'll go through the other tips quickly. We are really pushing here. Here they go. As you can see, you can quickly go through the games, but as you can see, the only difference is Collingwood. I picked the doggies. Everyone went for thing. Of course, Mark goes for Essendon, and of course Richmond. Also went for the Saints.
Yeah, it's a mixed one. Yeah, that's interesting.
There is a difference. There might be a bit of a move in the leaderboard next week.
There could be. Nervous now.
Yeah. So if you quickly the games.
Yeah. So games, yeah. Collingwood, Hawthorn Thursday night. I will be there, and I will be cheering for Hawthorn, and I will be laughing at Collingwood fans, hopefully. Anyway, Friday night, 2 games. Bulldogs and Fremantle over at Marvel Stadium. I still think Dogs have too many outs. I think Fremantle should get the job done. And then the showdown, Adelaide, Port Adelaide. That's a really good game. Surprised we all tipped Adelaide. I reckon Port could be a sneaky upset. We shall see. Saturday, we're back at Marvel for the first 2 games, Essendon versus Brisbane. Yeah, I think Brisbane will win. Sorry, Mark. He's not here. Then it's the game of the round, West Coast and Richmond. I'm excited. I'm going to go watch this somewhere. I think we're going to win. I hope we're going to win at least. We shall see on that one too. Down to Geelong versus North Melbourne. A few people reckon North could get the upset, but they let me down last week, so I'm not backing them again, going for Geelong. Then this is somewhat a rivalry game to some extent for some reasons, Carlton and St Kilda. I think, again, Saints just kind of have to win, but I don't really trust them. But I also don't trust Carlton. If I could tip a draw, I would. Sunday, Sydney versus Melbourne. I know Melbourne are playing well, but they haven't won outside of the MCG, and Sydney are playing really good, especially at home. They'll get the job done. And then Gold Coast back up in their home ground against the Giants. They're pretty strong there, and they actually need a win, so they should get the job done too.
Done. It's a good round of footy. And if you look at the leaderboard, Liam's still in front by Mark.
Dropped back.
And he's slowly pretty behind. And I've caught up a few spots too, I reckon. So, as I said, I'm not finishing last. So I reckon I might get off that bottom this week. So that's looking interesting for the tips. All right. Now, we have got something special. Are you going to stay on, Jezza?
Yeah. If you guys, I'm happy to listen to you guys. I'll be only watching.
We've got something exciting
We're doing something fun.
Hey,
we're having some fun.
yeah.
We're going to have some fun.
At least everyone's calmed down a bit now, you know.
A bit of, hey, it wouldn't be Fourever Rivals without a bit of like revving up. A bit of banter and a bit of like passion from the Greek and the Italian. So there's always a bit of passion there.
You guys realise you're going to be in the same room in about 3 weeks' time.
Yeah, we are.
I
see him at work.
I'm getting nervous, actually.
I see him at work. I feel like punching him, but I can't because I'll get the sack. But it might be a bit different here, Manny, inside the TJP studio here.
Can Lyndon be our special guest, mate, just in case things get killed?
Everyone catch up with that because I might get Lyndon to come in because he'll be on my side. I'll see if he's my side. I want him to.
So
I'd rather take a punch and eat the chili. I really would.
Yeah, we're gonna. What's that?
You guys pay for my flight. I'll go over. I'll be the referee. I'll be the neutral one in between you guys.
I would love, if you're ever down here, I would love you inside the studio, 100%, man. You would definitely be a guest on this show at any time. But what we're going to do is we've got a new segment. So usually we've got the Minute of Madness, but today I thought we'll do something different. And we have got the Fourever quiz.
I like that.
That's good.
I like that.
What we're going to do is we're going to have a quiz. Everyone can join in. Now, what we're going to do now, what I'm going to ask, I've already told the boys, I might get Jez. I don't know if you got a pen and paper, but I trust you anyway. What's going to happen is we're going to have a question. You're going to have 4 answers. You're going to pick your A, B, C, or D. You're going to say it out. I want the rivals, especially because it's about us, but also I want to see if Jez is smarter than all of us, is put down the answer and then if you got it right or wrong. And then at the end, because I can't do everything here, that's the only way.
How many questions?
20 questions. They'll be quick questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up the question, right? We're going to put up the question, give you 3 seconds to answer, then we'll put up the answer. in that 3 seconds, put down A, B, C, or D, right? And then a tick or a cross once I expose the correct answer, yeah? And make sure no cheating, right, Manny? No cheating, right? This
I don't
isn't
cheat,
about.
mate. I don't cheat. I don't cheat. I don't.
You do.
It is what it is.
I think you do. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share.
I'll use my fingers as the A, B, C, or D. Okay.
All right.
The first 4 letters of the alphabet should be all right.
All right. So, all right, here we go. This is the first time I've tried this. Here we go. I'm gonna share the screen. So
Whoa.
as you can see, I can move it. Yep. So what I'm gonna do is the only thing I ask for the chat, just wait 3 seconds before you put the answer, because these cheats over here will look at the chat and bloody see the answers, right? All right, so here we go. Here's the first one. You got 3 seconds to answer A, B, C, or D. Oh, I'm going to go here. All right, let's go. First one. Which stadium hosted the 2021 AFL Grand Final? Oh, there's no A, B, C. Just tell us which one you want. A, B, C, and D will be A. Go Brisbane, Melbourne will be A, B, and then C, D. All right. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep. Done.
All right. Everyone's done. Everyone's done. All right. The correct answer is, I'm going to say it's Optus. And yes, it is Optus Stadium. All right. So we get one here. Second one. Which 3 clubs hold the record for the VFL AFL Premiership? Everyone got it? I'm going to say it's the top one. Yes. All right. Next one. Which is the only team to have won 4 consecutive AFL Grand Finals in a row? I'm going to say, yeah. Everyone got it?
Yeah.
All right. How many years separated Western Bulldogs' first and second AFL Premiership? This is a good one. All right. I'm going to say, all right, I am going to say far out. I'm going to say 3. Oh, you're going to say 2. All right. I'm going to say 3. You're going to say 2. Has everyone got it? Yeah. All right, let's go. Which club was the first non-Victorian team to win an AFL Premiership? This is a good one. I'm going to say, I'm not going to look here. So you're saying 4. Everyone got it? I'm going to say it has to be Adelaide, doesn't it? Oh, it was West Coast. All right, there you go.
Jeez.
I got that one right.
Docker.
All right, which did the Brisbane Bears Fitzroy Lions merge? Oh, when did they merge? I like this.
Aye.
Everyone got it? Yeah, I reckon that's correct too there, Jezza.
Wrong.
All right. When did Gold Coast Suns play their first AFL match? Oh, that's interesting too. Gold Coast Suns would have been, I'm going to say. Everyone got it? Oh, 11. Okay, so that's 2. All right. At which club did Mick Bolthouse begin his senior? Oh, yeah.
I think this is a trick question.
Everyone got it?
I
think so.
Everyone got it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Who holds AFL records for coaching premiership winning teams with 8? With the 8, what? Who holds the AFL record for coaching premiership winning teams with 8? Oh,
Yeah.
with 8. Okay.
With 8 premierships.
I'm going to say, all right, I've got this.
Hey.
Yeah. All right, who won the 24 Brownlow medal? Everyone got it? Oh,
Sorry, Cooper.
How did you get that one wrong?
I know.
I actually didn't. All right, I'm going to say I didn't. I actually got it. I wrote 1, if everyone can see, right?
Yeah,
But
gotcha.
Whoa.
I was looking at Jezza and I went, all right, which award is given to the player judged man of the match in the AFL Grand Final?
Cyril.
Everyone got it? All right. Who was awarded the inaugural AFL Women's Best and Fairest medal? Far out. This is going to be a 1, but I'm going to say, all right, I'll give it a guess here. Everyone got it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. How many Brownlow medals did joint record holder Bobby Skilton win? Everyone got it?
Wait, are we doing
Shit,
as the
sorry.
number or the... I wasn't sure. I got it.
Which of the AFL current players has scored the most goals in the league? Which one is it? I'm going to say far out. All right, I'm going to
Luke
go.
isn't the current player, is he? I think it's okay.
All right, got it?
Yeah.
But
How many goals did VFL AFL record holder Tony Lockett kick? All right, this is a good one. This is a good one. This is a good one. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. When was Victorian Football League renamed the Australian Football League? Oh, this is pretty easy, isn't it? Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did Hawthorn Hawks win the 1991 AFL Grand Final?
who did they beat as well?
West Coast.
Yeah, just checking.
Waverley. What is the dimension of the outer circle at the center of the Australian rules ground? Oh, that's interesting. I'm going to say this one. I'm going to say this one. Everyone ready? Everyone ready? Everyone ready? I went this.
Oh.
All right, 2 more. Which VFL Foundation club wrote the original laws to the Australian Football League? All right, this is interesting. Does everyone know?
Can't flip a coin.
Everyone got it? Everyone got it?
I'm going to.
All right. It was Melbourne. You know they are the oldest football league in the world. When was the inaugural season of the non-Victorian Football League?
Of the then Victorian Football League.
Yeah,
When was the inaugural season of the then?
Yes.
All right, I've got this. Everyone got it?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Oh,
Okay.
That was a lucky guess.
It's too easy.
all right. Results. I got
13.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Liam,
18 out of 20.
Ah, bullshit.
Too easy. Too easy.
Bullshit. You've already
Manny?
seen the answers to
I
it.
got
Liam.
11.
far out. I got 3 wrong, so I got 17.
Yeah. Ooh, that's close. We're close.
17.
I missed the one with the highest goal kicker. I forgot what number 6 was, but I missed that.
The old school ones I knew. The earlier ones, no idea. The latest ones, but the
This what was the one?
That's
Yeah, I
funny.
missed-
And
I
Jessica,
missed
you
it.
wouldn't know it because you didn't get the tally, did you? But how many you reckon you got wrong?
No, I reckon I missed about 5, I'd say. 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So Liam, the winner.
Liam's a winner this week. What we're going to do this, we're going to do
Well,
this for a
you
few
guys.
weeks. We're going to do this for a few weeks. We're going to, because there's always a chance, and then the top two will probably play it off here in the studio. How's that sound?
Wow.
Good.
You better bring that Lyndon
I look
over.
forward
You
to
better bring
meeting you
Lyndon.
guys.
Hey, that was good. Did everyone enjoy that? What did everyone else get in there? What did anyone else get in there? If anyone can give me your totals, I reckon 17, 18 is pretty good. And honestly, me and Liam, we found the quiz today, but we didn't look at it because we said we're not looking at it. So
I think we knew like the first question. That was it.
we knew. We did see the first question, but
And the third, and the fifth, and the 11th, and the 16th.
no, I didn't go for it. I didn't go for them. There's no need to go for it.
How ironic, Manny, huh?
I'm telling you, they were all pretty.
18. Hey, Manny? Yeah.
Manny got 11.
I got 11.
Of course, you got 11. No, so I got 17. Enzo, yeah, I reckon Enzo got
Well, I think
17. Oz
I've got
got
the
maybe
merge one wrong.
16 or
That's
17.
wrong.
Listen, there weren't that many too tricky ones there. There was a few kind of tricky ones. I reckon I fucked up the last one. I could swear. But why I thought 1867, I think that's when Carlton was formed. There was a 60. Oh no, they were formed in 64. And then I think before that it was the AFL, or it wasn't even the VFL, it was something else. There was some other teams like University in there and all that. And then so 97 was the first game. Interesting. Yeah, 1864, of course. How can I forget? Agenda 1864, bring Carlton back to when it was great. Yeah, the VFA, yeah. So that's it.
Yeah.
We've got pretty knowledgeable people in there. So that was good.
We watched it in class like last year. We watched like the history of the AFL, VFL. So I remembered it from there.
Yeah, so I did remember
And
like
last week you asked me when Richmond came in, and we came in a year after it was done, and we came in 1898. So
and do you know Melbourne? Well, they're the ones who like made up the rules and all that, and but they're the oldest football club in the world.
yeah. Like
Like in the
1858.
world. That's soccer, that's everything. They are
1857.
the oldest football club in the world. That's amazing. And they're still shit.
Yeah, 1850. That's crazy.
They're better than us this year. All right. So now everyone's been waiting for this because he's made us cry all night.
Well, if you can't do it for your teammates, if you can't do it for your coach, at least do it for your fans. Yeah. Anyway, there was two mates.
That's right.
There's two mates. And both of these two mates were hearing impaired. So they've gone into this nightclub. They wanted to basically have a couple of cold beers, and one says to the other one, "You stay here and I'll go to the pub and I'll order some drinks." He says, "All right." So anyway, goes up to the barman. He says, "I'll have 2 lagers." Barman says, "No worries." He says, "That's $25." It's $25 fucking dollars for 2 fucking lagers. He says, "Yeah." He says, "We've got a ban on tonight." He says, "We've got a surcharge of $5 per beer." He says, "Fucking hell." He says, "I hope it's not that fucking rock and roll, mate, because I can't fucking stand rock and roll." He says, "No, it's not rock and roll." He says, "Oh, okay." He says, "I hope it's not that fucking jazz, because I really can't stand jazz either." He says, "No, it's not jazz." Anyway, the music was getting loud, so the bloke, he had the radio on anyway, grabbed his beers and he's gone back to his mate, and he said, "You fucking won't believe it." He says, "What?" He says, "I paid $25 for 2 fucking lagers." It's 25 lagers. "What the fuck for?" He says, "Oh, they've got a ban on tonight." He says, "Oh, I hope they haven't got the fucking jazz, because I know it's not the fucking jazz." He says, "Well, I hope it's not that fucking rock and roll, you know. He says, I know you got sore ears, not the fucking rock and roll. He says, well, what fucking band is it? He says, I'm not sure, but he said it's some cunt from Preston. Country and Western. But he was there.
You know what? I reckon the build up was funnier than the ending, man. Like, you know when a joke doesn't hit when you've got to explain it straight afterwards, like you know that you've done.
Well, just because I'm looking at U5 because I can't see the viewers, so I'm looking at U5 and I can see Jezza got it. Mark
I
is
didn't
looking
get it. I didn't get it until you explained it. So
Mark is looking like a stunned mullet. I'm not expecting Liam to get it because he's still underage. But Rocco, for fuck's sake, you've grown up in the reservoir. You'd probably know a lot of cunts from Preston.
that was a miss, Manny. That was a miss. You're making people laugh, but as I said, the voice was funnier than the whole joke itself, man. So anyway, well done. We've come to expect mediocre from you, so that was fine. That was you brought it. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Manny impersonating Lana is on fire. Manny impersonating himself was clever. That's very good.
Lana's always having a rip into me, but that's okay. I don't mind. I will meet Lana one day again, and we'll have a cold beer because she's a real character herself.
That was great. All right. Manny took Moe out of himself. Yeah, that was Manny's Moe. All right. What do we got here? All right. We've come to this time. We're almost there, Mark.
We are, mate. We certainly are.
Time to pay the piper. I hope you got bought a hot one.
Yeah, I've got the chili here, boys, as promised. So I don't mind chilies, mate. I eat them all the time, mate. So let's give it a crack. Pretty simple, really. Let's keep the conversation going, boys.
Go on.
Honestly, how hot it is, but it depends on how hot it is.
He didn't even finish the whole thing.
Keep going, boys.
Oh.
Is it hot?
Nah.
Not yet.
Because
Not
you didn't
really.
get a hot.
Oh, his face is changing a bit.
Keep going, boys. So what do we got? What's the next segment?
I reckon it's a little bit hot. You just started slurring your words there, mate.
Keep going, boys. What's the next segment?
Oh, he's broken. Oh, he's gone.
No, he's got the milk.
He's got the milk too, so it wasn't. He was trying to be cool about it.
Oh, and the yogurt.
He's got the yogurt.
Good night, boys.
He's gone. I knew it. As soon as he started talking up before the show, I was like, he's gone. He's going to be cool.
He's gone. He's gone. I think that's it for today.
Yeah, the milk does help, man, because what happens is the water disperses the hot. He's got no glasses.
My tongue's burning.
Blimey.
You're a clown, man. You are the funniest bloke.
All right.
Oh, well, that's what you get for your bloody team being shit, huh? Like they are doing it for the supporters when you have to eat chili. All right, this has been a great show. Look at this. I thought you eat chili.
I don't.
Not anymore.
That's
Not anymore.
good on you, Mark.
I don't know, since I've been liking chili all of a sudden. I don't know, the other night, after eating that chili, man, I've been putting chili on my food for some reason. So don't know what's going on there. All right, but remember, we've got plenty of stuff going on. As Mark does that, we got the tomorrow night we got Selection Blues where Zach is back. Zach and Mars will be giving you the selections live, and then we've got also a preview, and then we've got game day with Bo, and then we've got emergency meeting, and then on Sunday we got Blue Sunday, and then back to TJP on Tuesday. I think I might have a ex-player coming on, and then we got Fourever Rivals. So yeah, got full pack, and make sure it's in 2 weeks' time, but the Sporting Globe. So in a couple of weeks' time we'll be there, and that's it, I reckon. Great show. Thanks, Jezza, for joining us. It was a blast.
No worries. Thanks for having us on, boys. Good fun.
Liven up. It's going to be a big week of footy. I reckon, like we did last week, I reckon we finish off on a high because we got the marker, and he is burning.
He's gone.
He's struggling, the poor bastard.
Your face has actually gone a little bit red, mate. Like your top there.
Starting to get a watery nose on Orneo, mate.
Oh, well, that's what we get for following shit teams, man. That's what you get for following shit teams. All right. I think we finish off with the greatest commercial ever. And we'll see you next week, and go the Mighty Blues.
Come on, the dogs.
If you want your family to be safe,